Chapter 1408. The Dark Moon Clan was the king of the dark space, because they were one with the darkness and had unparalleled stealth technique. The place where they lived was an extremely dangerous place, the place where the 8 black holes appeared. These 8 black holes spun rapidly from time to time and could swallow anything. Whoever was swallowed by them would definitely die. The Dark Moon Clan could avoid these 8 black holes and return to their own place. Some careless Dark Moon Clan creatures would also be swallowed and killed by these black holes if they were not careful enough. The place where they lived was built with strange houses. Each house was like a crescent moon or a full moon. This was the totem in their hearts. High up in the sky there was a faint gray moon. This was the moon that they made themselves. They were the kings of this place. Everyone had to bow down to them. However, there was a problem with their reproduction ability. Due to the power of their bloodline, their annual reproduction rate was not very high. Gradually, the older generation would also die. Today, their population was maintained at around 30,000. If they could reach 300,000, even if they could not compare to the creatures of other clans, they could still subdue them. Moldy, he was killed by someone. An old dark spirit clan creature said in a trembling voice. At the same time, his body burst forth with a shocking aura. This was the power that only a god-level creature could achieve. The surroundings seemed to be born with the power of a black hole. Clan leader, who is so bold to dare kill the young clan leader? A dark spirit clan creature asked anxiously. It's a foreign human. Where did they get the courage to do such a thing? I will tear them into pieces. The old dark spirit clan creature said with a strong killing intent. Let me capture them and wait for clan leader Luo's punishment. You alone is not enough. Bring 100 dark moon guards and the Black Blood Mosquito Squad. This time, not only will I take down that human, but I will also massacre the Crow clan. Yes, clan leader. The Crow clan's territory. Yang Wu was practicing Tai Chi, there was no mistake. He was indeed in the posture of Tai Chi, slowly moving his body. There was no sign of strength or power. It did not look like he was going to take out a pot shield at all. The princess was also confused by Yang Wu. Those from the Crow clan could not understand what was going on. In the past, the Crow clan had exploded with great power and wanted to break through the defense of the Walk Shield, but they had never been able to do so. Even if they used the divine weapons of the clan, it was useless. There were also other clans that wanted to take it down, but they had never succeeded. This was also the reason why the Crow clan was willing to give Yang Wu and Princess the Walk Shield. Even a deity expert might not be able to take away this pot shield. Her Majesty had already verified it. And now, Yang Wu wasn't trying to break the chi field, but was practicing this strange fist technique nearby. What was the meaning of this? The Crown Princess could see that Yang Wu was practicing Tai Chi. This kind of fist technique enjoyed a great reputation in the divine world. Tai Chi Dao was one of the great Daos. There were many people who practiced it. However, the number of people who could reach the entry level was too few. Yang Wu actually knew Taiji Fist, and had even comprehended Taiji Dao. This was incredible. It seems that the transcendent realm of the human world is indeed worthy of being the place where the human king once lived. It is even more mysterious than the other realms of the human world. Princess thought to herself. Yang Wu completely ignored all external influences and focused on practicing his fist technique. He did this for a great reason. Since brute force couldn't break this chi field, he would use the gentle power of Tai Chi to see if he could gain anything. Tai Chi was a combination of hardness and softness. It contained yin and yang and could go against heaven and earth. Yang Wu stayed in Wudong for a period of time. Later on, when he had time, he insisted on practicing Tai Chi. He had also comprehended the Tao of the fusion of water and fire in his clan. Water and fire could also be divided into yin and yang. It was also possible for them to fuse into Tai Chi. It didn't necessarily require the power of darkness and light. Once again, he practiced Tai Chi here. His every move contained principles. The slower his movements, the more the principles of the Tao appeared. Gradually, he fell into this state of enlightenment. His punches went from slow to fast. The surrounding void was also changed by the power of his punches. He began to approach the direction of the pot shield's chi field. He used the power of the Tao of Tai Chi to affect the chi field and destroy it to see if he could succeed. When he arrived in front of the chi field, every move he made would be repelled by the chi field's power. However, the distance he was repelled was not far, and he was not injured. This was because he didn't use any power at all. He only used the Dharma and logos of the Tao to fight. After he was repelled, he hit back. Again, he was repelled, and again he hit back. This repeated, and the distance he was repelled became shorter and shorter. He also felt that the power of the chi field was finally driven by him. The Tao of rebounding was very similar to the Tao of Tai Chi. It was the power emitted by the pot shield. Soon, Yang Wu finally took a step forward and entered the range of the chi field. He was no longer repelled. An invisible Tai Chi diagram had already appeared around him. This Tai Chi diagram could remove all the chi that landed on his body. This was the same as the activation mode of his black tortoise armor. His black tortoise armor had also been integrated with the Tao of Tai Chi, which was why it could be used to the extreme. One Tao was connected, and all Taos were connected. He advanced like a hot knife through butter, approaching the pot shield step by step. Caw, this. How is this possible? The large crow cried out in shock. The other crows also began to caw. They were clearly unable to accept that Yang Wu was able to break through the chi field and approach the pot shield in such a way. The Empress also stared at this scene with wide eyes. Yang Wu's ability had really exceeded her expectations. In the immortal realm, how many freaks were there that were as omnipotent as him? What they didn't know was that as Yang Wu ventured deeper into the chi field, the pressure of the chi field's rebounding force increased on his body. His punches needed to be faster and faster. The black tortoise armor also appeared, and used the Tao of rebounding to remove this rebounding force. Faster, faster! Yang Wu continuously shouted in his mind. At the same time, the divine chains of the Tao of the Luo River in his dantian began to tremble. It was as if he could see the endless waves of the Luo River colliding with each other, as if they could destroy everything. At the same time, the power in Yang Wu's body exploded out. Blue water vapor was contained in the power of his fists, and he used the soft power of water to block the rebounding force. He had to break through all of it before he could approach the pot shield in one go. When Yang Wu was only 1,000 feet away from the pot shield, his movements almost froze. The rebounding force was too terrifying. It was as if he had reached the bottom of a bottomless ocean, and the pressure of the water could squash any living being. At this moment, he was being squeezed by this power until his body was bleeding. Blood also began to seep out of his 7 orifices, and his body was almost twisted. The Empress was extremely worried. "Hold on, you have to hold on." Many crows also held their breath. They wanted to see if this human could create a miracle. Caw, caw. Suddenly, the crows on the outside started to cry out anxiously. The big crow was the first to react, and it immediately cried out, "Caw, caw, enemy attack." Many crows also came back to their senses and began to face the enemies that suddenly appeared. It was the black blood mosquito race's battle group. The black blood mosquito was a type of evil mosquito commonly seen in the dark space. They were very numerous and they bred very quickly. Every year, hundreds of billions of mosquitoes would be born. They were once the kings of this place, but now they had become a powerful battle group of the Dark Moon race. This was also the reason why the Dark Moon race wanted to use them to unify the dark space. The crows also feared and hated these black blood mosquitoes. These mosquitoes' combat power could only be described as average, but with their shocking numbers, even the crows couldn't kill them all. In the end, they would be exhausted to death. The dark moon race hiding in the dark would attack at any time, and it was impossible to guard against. Tens of thousands of crows cried out crazily. They used the power of sound waves to kill these black blood mosquitoes, and they also spat out energy to kill them. These black blood mosquitoes seemed to have gone crazy. They covered the sky and covered the earth as they came. Wave after wave died. Some of the stronger black blood mosquitoes even broke into the crows' formation and started to bite the crows. The Empress and Mao Fei kept retreating. They didn't participate in the battle, but just looking at the millions of mosquitoes made their scalps tingle. Why did these black blood mosquitoes suddenly appear? The Empress was very puzzled. They were brought by the Dark Moon Race's bastards. This is their vanguard battle group. Be careful, they will attack us at any time, the big crow replied. At this moment, a power from the dark charged towards the Empress and Mao Fei. This kind of silent assassination method was really hard to guard against. Fortunately, the Empress reacted quickly and slapped behind her. The majestic palm print sent the Dark Moon Race's creature flying. The creature of the Dark Moon clan let out a blood-curdling scream and disappeared. The Dark Moon Race's creature's voice sounded faintly. Humans, you killed my clan's young clan leader. You are dead today. Crow Race, your helpers will all die. Today we will carry out a clan extermination operation. Dark Moon Guards, kill them all. After this creature's announcement, the black blood mosquitoes' attack became even more fierce. The Dark Moon Race's creatures attacked secretly, and the crows began to fall one after another. They were unable to stop the Dark Moon Race and the black blood mosquitoes' pincer attack. Caw, caw, your Dark Moon Race has gone too far. This matter has nothing to do with my race. My race is willing to withdraw. After the big crow realized the Dark Moon Race's determination, it was completely panicked. It screamed and gave the order to withdraw, leading the crows to escape. Hee, it's too late to escape now. Black Blood Mosquito Battle Team, attack with full force and kill them all, the Dark Moon Race's creature sneered. The Empress's side was also attacked by the black blood mosquitoes. The mosquitoes were densely packed, and with their incomparably sharp mouths, they crazily stabbed over. Get out of my way! The Empress shouted loudly. Radiant battle chi circulated around her body, killing the black blood mosquitoes that approached. These black blood mosquitoes could not be killed. If she stayed, she would definitely die. She anxiously looked in the direction of Yang Wu and shouted, "Little Wu, come out quickly. Otherwise, you will have to collect my corpse. Don't be anxious. Big Brother can't bear to see you die." Chapter 1409. Yang Wu successfully got within 10 feet of the pot shield. This 10 feet radius almost squeezed his body to the point of bursting. He unleashed all his strength. The strength of his 4 limbs was raised to the extreme. He wanted to break through this restriction. He had to get the pot shield. Even though the outside world was already very lively, he couldn't retreat. Once he retreated, he would be torn apart by the rebound force. It was already extremely difficult for him to find the time to reply to Lady. He hoped that Lady could still hold on for a while. As long as he got the pot shield, he could go back to save her. Lady naturally wouldn't have a problem saving herself, but it would be much more difficult to take care of Mao Fei. Mao Fei wasn't weak. She was killing swarm after swarm of black blood mosquitoes. However, the creatures of the Dark Moon clan appeared and disappeared like ghosts. They kept sneaking attacks on her, causing her to be unable to defend herself. She was seriously injured. If Lady hadn't used the void travel technique to repel the creatures of the Dark Moon clan, she would have died. Lady had the void travel technique, so it was easy for her to leave this place. However, she was very loyal and didn't leave Yang Wu and Mao Fei alone. Dark Moon clan, you know that the one here is the reincarnation of your master, Zhenwu Great Emperor. How dare you be disrespectful to us? Do you want your clan to be wiped out? Lady shouted. The leader of the Dark Moon clan in the dark replied, "What a joke. We don't know what Zhenwu Great Emperor is. We only know that you killed our young clan leader. Only death awaits you. Then I'll kill you first. Lady locked onto the position of the leader of the Dark Moon clan and directly teleported over. The leader of the Dark Moon clan was also at the Divine Realm. His reaction was extremely fast. He stretched out a palm and formed a ball of dark energy to block Lady's attack. You're here to die. The leader of the Dark Moon clan sneered. In an instant, cracks appeared around him. The sharp armor of his limbs was cutting through space, trying to dismember Lady. Darkness cutting technique. This was the innate power of the Dark Moon clan. Its lethality was extremely terrifying. Faced with this attack, the Crown Princess raised her fist and punched out continuously. Bang! The lady's strength was extremely violent. She shattered all of these cutting powers and even overpowered the Dark Moon clan's commander. The other party had infiltrated the darkness and mobilized the power of darkness. His battle prowess was extremely powerful, and he was not someone that the Crown Princess could take down easily. The Crow tribe had completely escaped. Now, only Empress and Mao Fei were left, and Yang Wu was still in the pot shield aura. Their situation was critical. A large number of black blood mosquitoes swarmed over, covering the sky and covering the earth. They were densely packed and were about to devour Catwoman. The commander of the Dark Moon clan no longer fought the princess head-on. Instead, he commanded countless black blood mosquitoes to attack her. The Dark Moon guards launched long-range sneak attacks from time to time. She was exhausted from dealing with them, and she was starting to get injured. "Little Wu, I'm going to die soon," the Empress shouted. Yang Wu could not respond. He had entered within 15 meters of the pot shield, and his powerful body was about to collapse. The power he had to endure was incomparably terrifying. The power in his body was also suppressed, and he had a feeling that he couldn't use it. If I can't even take down a Sciention combat weapon, how can I leave this space? Immortal Foundation power, activate! Yang Wu shouted in his heart. He finally activated his ultimate power. The power of the Immortal Foundation flowed through his limbs, and his injuries quickly healed. His strength increased explosively, and the Tao of Tai Chi once again pushed away the suppression of the pot shield. He rushed over in one breath and grabbed at the pot shield. Yang Wu's hand contained immortal energy, and it covered the center of the pot shield. There was a pattern of a crow's head there. Under the infusion of his power and immortal energy, the pot shield's power completely erupted. Buzz! The space seemed to be distorting and collapsing. The terrifying rebounding chi field crushed in all directions, and a large number of black blood mosquitoes instantly died. Chirp! There were too many black blood mosquitoes, and they were very close to the rebounding chi field. Their vitality was extremely weak under the suppression of the rebounding chi field. Goo-goo! The cries of crows rang out one after another. A giant crow appeared and displayed an unparalleled power. It was extremely terrifying. Everything within a radius of dozens of miles was suppressed by this aura. A large number of black blood mosquitoes fell from the sky as their bodies exploded and died. The creatures of the Dark Moon clan were also frightened and did not know what to do. They hurriedly tried to escape. Those who were a little slower could not escape and were immediately crushed to death. The Empress' expression changed greatly. She continuously shuttled through the void, arriving at Mao Fei's side, who was also quickly fleeing, and bringing her with her into the distance. If they stayed any longer, they would also suffer. Damn it, what kind of power is this? The commander of the Dark Moon clan let out a loud cry. He hurriedly ran away and shouted, "Retreat! All of you, retreat!" The creatures of the Dark Moon race and the black blood mosquitoes kept running away, but they still died in droves. The crows in the distance all sensed the resonance of their bloodline and stopped. That big crow looked to the distant sky, in the direction of their clan's land, and said in shock, "Could it be that the ancestral armament has been taken?" The next moment he shouted, "Return! Return immediately!" The ancestral armament cannot fall into the hands of the human race. And so, these crows quickly flew back. In the distant space of the Dark Moon Clan, the Dark Moon Clan Lord also felt an indescribable aura assault him. He gazed into the distance as though he could see the giant crow occupying the sky above. A trace of ruthlessness flashed through his single eye as he said, "The Crow Clan's ancestral armament has been activated. They have been in decline for many years. How can they still have such ability? It seems the Dark Moon Guards and Black Blood Mosquitoes are about to lose. Let me go take a look." The Dark Moon Clan Lord disappeared from this part of the world and rushed toward the Crow Clan's territory. He was not the only one. The other dark race creatures were also approaching. They also wanted to know what was going on. Yang Wu, who was holding the cauldron shield of the Crow Clan, was completely stunned. The cauldron shield was nurtured with a powerful consciousness. It was not the will of the Crow Clan's ancestors. This Xiantian warrior weapon already had an owner. No wonder it could automatically defend itself and not allow any creature to come close, not even those of its own race. It was because it was an innate ancestral armament. Without enough power and bloodline power, it was impossible to obtain it. Yang Wu had relied on a trick to get close. Moreover, he also had the power of his immortal root. Otherwise, he would not have been able to get close. "So you are the son of the great immortal. I am willing to serve you as long as you protect the bloodline of my clan and let it continue to be passed down." The Crow Clan ancestors' consciousness transmitted from the pot shield. The power of Yang Wu's immortal root was the power of an immortal. It was the power of immortal chi that all races yearn to obtain. The Crow Clan ancestor was fortunate enough to have seen the terrifying power of an immortal. The immortal chi released by Yang Wu made it unable to resist and could only serve him. Among the thousands of races, the Crow Clan was never a high-ranking race. However, in the long river of history, there had been a few famous and powerful crows. That was because they had chosen a wise master. In the eyes of the Crow Clan ancestor, Yang Wu was a wise master. He was still young and had already displayed the power of the immortal root. This meant that his future was limitless. Now that he had accepted their Crow Clan, it was too important for them. "You are very smart and have a good eye. I accept your submission." Yang Wu smiled and replied. It was not easy to get close to it. It couldn't be better for it to automatically submit. Otherwise, he wouldn't mind spending a little more effort to forcefully take it. However, that would be a waste of time. "Greetings, Master." The innate combatant finally recognized its master. It was already the soul of a combatant. As long as it recognized its master, the combatant would be under his control. The combatant's power disappeared and the crow phantom retracted. The combatant's shield shrank and landed on Yang Wu's arm, forming a circular shield. In the center of the shield was a majestic crow. Traces of dark power were emitted, adding a strange charm to Yang Wu. Empress, who was watching from afar, was also dazzled. "Little Wu is not bad." She and Mao Fei rushed back again. Unfortunately, before they could get close to Yang Wu, a power descended on them and forcefully restrained them. Empress and Mao Fei's expression changed greatly. This was a god-level expert comparable to an emissary. The Dark Moon Clan leader appeared in front of them and coldly said, "All humans should be killed." In the next moment, he was ready to crush Empress and Mao Fei and end their lives. "Old man, get out of my way." Empress's hair flew out and pierced towards the Dark Moon Clan leader. The grade of this hair was unknown, but it could definitely injure an emissary. The Dark Moon Clan leader reacted quickly and dodged the attack. Empress and Mao Fei were also released. They quickly rushed towards Yang Wu. The Dark Moon Clan leader reacted even faster. He slapped towards Empress and Mao Fei. "You can't escape. Die." The Dark Moon Clan leader's attack was fierce. How could they block it? Just as the attack was about to land on them, a shield flew over and forcefully blocked the Dark Moon Clan leader's attack. Bang! The power that could shatter the void was unable to shatter the shield. Moreover, the shield didn't move at all. A huge crow appeared and looked down at the Dark Moon Clan leader. It also had a rebound power that crushed the Dark Moon Clan leader. The Dark Moon Clan leader shifted his position and dodged the rebound power of the pot shield. The Crow Clan's ancestral weapon, the Dark Moon Clan leader exclaimed. After a pause, he said faintly, "You dare to stop me? Aren't you afraid that I will destroy your Crow Clan?" "You already want to destroy them," the spirit of the pot shield crow replied. "There's no need to talk nonsense with him. Suppress him." Yang Wu rushed over and shouted. Then, he injected more energy into the pot shield, and the pot shield once again smashed towards the Dark Moon Clan's creature. When the Dark Moon Clan leader saw Yang Wu's appearance, he screamed as if he had seen a ghost. Zhen Wu, Great Emperor! Since you know it's me, why aren't you kneeling down and submitting? Yang Wu took advantage of the situation and shouted. "No. You're not the Great Emperor," the Dark Moon Clan leader replied in panic. He turned around and ran. He didn't dare to fight. Chapter 14:10. After the Dark Moon Clan's leader ran away, other powerful creatures approached. These creatures were not as easily scared away as the Dark Moon Clan's leader. However, after the pot shield's power was activated by Yang Wu, they did not ask for a rebuff and quietly retreated. The pot shield's power was powerful enough to intimidate them. If they were to fight it head-on, it would not be worth it. Moreover, it was the crow's ancestral weapon. They could not take it, so they could only give up. The group of crows flew back again. "Human, return my clan's ancestral weapon to me," the big crow shouted. The big crow was also a god-level expert. It was not weak. Just now, it ran away because it was afraid of the Dark Moon Clan and the Black Blood mosquitoes. However, it did not mean that it was afraid of Yang Wu and Lady. "You old crow, how can you be so shameless? This is already our item. You dare to ask for it? Do you really think we are easy to bully?" Lady shouted. "Caw, caw, who said it's yours? This is my clan's ancestral weapon. Quickly return it. I will return the Black Mist Pearl to you. Otherwise, you will lose everything," the big crow shouted. Lady was so angry that she stomped her foot. Yang Wu waved his hand at her. Then, he said to the big crow, "Are you sure you want this shield? If you know what's good for you, quickly return it. Then you can leave this place safely," the big crow said with a strong threat. The group of crows behind it also began to caw loudly, their threatening intent becoming even more intense. "Okay, then I will return it to you." Yang Wu smiled. Then, he threw the pot shield at the big crow. "Little Wu, why are you afraid of them? At most, we will kill our way out," Lady said unhappily. "Just watch. It does not have the ability to take it. If it wanted it, it would have taken it away long ago," Yang Wu said with an extremely calm smile. Sure enough, when the big crow was about to receive the pot shield, the spirit of the pot shield rushed out. It was the ancestor of the Crow Clan. A majestic aura suppressed the big crow. The big crow was shocked. It cried out, "Caw, caw, ancestor, I am your descendant." Bang! The pot shield still smashed onto the big crow's body, causing its head to bleed and its wings to break. The other crows were all trembling in fear. The suppression of their bloodline by the ancestral armament was simply too powerful. They did not even have the thought to resist. "Ancestor, why did you hit me? I'm beating people like you who don't know what's good for you. He's our master and you actually dare to threaten him. Do you want your entire clan to be annihilated? Impossible. How can a human be the master of our race? Old ancestor, have you gone senile? You even dare to scold me? You're the one who's confused. Watch me smash you to death." "Croak, croak. Ancestor, please stop smashing me. I'm about to die. You deserve to be smashed to death. Master is the son of an immortal. Following him will bring us great benefit. If you dare to go against him again, I will smash you to death." "Gua gua, the big crow was smashed miserably. Its entire body was covered in blood and half its head was smashed. Its wings were broken and many feathers had fallen. Its body was about to explode. The pot shield's artifact spirit was not polite to the big crow at all. It really was fiercely beating it up. Not far away, the Empress was incomparably pleased. This big crow's retribution has come. Let's see if it still dares to be arrogant. I don't dare, I don't dare. I'm willing to listen to Master. The big crow repeatedly begged for mercy. Tell them to follow you in the future. Only then will our clan be able to escape this sea of suffering. Only then will our crow clan be able to regain its former glory. The pot shield spirit said as it retracted its power and let the big crow go. The pot shield returned to Yang Wu's hand. He looked down at the big crow and said, "Do you know what to do now?" "I know. Wuguna greets Master." The big crow lowered its head and bowed to Yang Wu. Then it ordered the other crows, "Gua gua, why aren't you greeting Master?" "Gua gua, greetings Master." The other crows did not dare to be slow. They quickly bowed to Yang Wu and called out. A black mass of crows bowed to Yang Wu. This scene was not a normal one. "This is possible?" the Empress said in shock. "He really is powerful," Mao Fei said sincerely. The Empress quickly flew over and said to Yang Wu, "Little Wu, this pot shield is mine. It's mine. They are also my subordinate." Yang Wu threw the pot shield at the Empress and said, "You can use it, so it's yours." The Empress looked at the pot shield that Yang Wu threw over and gave a strange cry. She quickly dodged. "Little Wu, what are you doing? Are you going to let this pot shield hit this old lady?" "Wu Wu, this old lady treated you as a life and death friend." Yang Wu bitterly smiled and said, "What are you talking about? I didn't let it hit you." The Empress calmed down and found that there were no fluctuations in the pot shield. She carefully walked over and took the pot shield. She smiled and said, "I knew you couldn't bear to hurt me. And, since you can use it, I'll give it to you." Yang Wu said indifferently. He used the power of the immortal root to make the pot shield recognize him as its master. Unless the Empress also had the power of the immortal root, she would not be able to use the pot shield. The spirit of the pot shield was only interested in the power of the immortal energy. Otherwise, how could Yang Wu, a human who had never cultivated the power of darkness, gain its recognition? Who knew that when the Empress took the pot shield and poured power into it, the spirit appeared again. It trembled and said in shock, "Greetings, Fairy. To be able to gain Fairy's favor is my clan's fortune. From now on, my clan will respect you as our master." Yang Wu opened his eyes wide. His eyeballs were about to pop out. "This old fellow is too spineless. You crows are an unlucky clan. This old lady doesn't care. Just obediently follow little Wu," the Empress said disdainfully. She threw the pot shield back at Yang Wu. Yang Wu kicked the pot shield away. "Who do you think this young master is? You think I can come back whenever I want?" The pot shield was sad. The Crow clan was also sad. These two humans who both had immortal energy began to despise their clan's ancestral weapon. This was a true god-level weapon. How many creatures would fight over it? The pot shield spirit ran out again. It begged Yang Wu, "Master, don't be like this. I was just confused. I didn't mean to betray you. In the future, I won't do it again. I will definitely follow Master obediently." Full of nonsense. "It would be strange if I believed you," Yang Wu said unhappily. The pot shield was about to cry. It didn't expect the Empress to also have immortal energy. Moreover, her awakened power seemed to be much stronger than Yang Wu's. This was the reason why it immediately changed its mind and took her as its master. "Little Wu, seeing that they still have some value, you should keep them," the Empress advised. "Since you said so, I'll give it a chance. However, you and I got this pot shield together. We are both its masters. If it doesn't listen to us in the future, we'll smash it." Yang Wu replied. Okay. This is our token of love. the Empress said straightforwardly. Then, her face became as red as the sun. Pay, it was a slip of the tongue. It's a token of our love. No, it's the pot of life and death. Aya, what nonsense did I say? The little lowly shyly escaped to Mao Fei's body. She buried her little head in Mao Fei's body, not daring to show her head. Yang Wu was stunned. Then, he smiled and said, "Little girl, you're so mature. Be careful that your parents don't spank you. You're the one who's going to be spanked. Shameless little Wu, I'm going to break off all relations with you for a day," the little lowly loudly announced. Yang Wu ignored her. In his eyes, she was just a little girl, a little brat. She didn't have any other feelings. He wasn't interested in children. "What high-level herbs do you have near your clan's land? Do you have any divine veins? Get them all for me." Yang Wu looked at the big crow as if he was its master. Since the Crow clan had already recognized him as their master, he wouldn't be polite. It was time to reap the harvest. "Master, we'll find them for you," the big crow Waguna obediently replied. Then, he quickly brought Yang Wu to their clan's mountain ridge to settle down. This black mountain ridge was their territory. No other powerful creatures dared to occupy this place. Yang Wu arrived in front of a large tree. There was a large nest in the tree. It was Waguna's nest. This nest could easily fit several dozen people. There were also a few divine stones in the nest, all of which were quite valuable. These divine stones had been directly plundered by Yang Wu. Waguna felt his heart ache. These were some wondrous stones that he had collected for a long time. They were gone just like that. It didn't dare to complain at all. After all, she was its master. "Tell me about the situation in this space," Yang Wu said to Waguna. "What does master want to know?" Waguna asked. "Tell me everything you know. Just tell me the important things. Don't blabber on about ordinary things." "All right, then I'll tell you." Waguna lived up to his name as a native creature here. He knew quite a bit about the dark space. There were a few large races in this space. The first was the Dark Moon race, the second was the Yeksha race, the third was the Demonic Sound race, and some other fierce beast races. Each race occupied a certain area and had wondrous items with different dark powers. In addition, there was the terrifying black hole area and the nothingness. These were all forbidden areas that couldn't be approached. There weren't many dark space god veins, but there were quite a few black profound stones. This type of stone was the main material. Occasionally, one could find some high-level dark items, such as the Dark God Pearl or the Heart of Darkness. Yang Wu had Waguna explain the situation of the Dark Moon race in detail. Waguna told him everything truthfully. The Dark Moon race didn't have many people, but they were the absolute kings of the night. Even the Yiksha race had to retreat. They had always had the ambition to unify the dark space. If they stayed near the black hole area, other races wouldn't dare to easily approach. This meant that they could attack other races, but other races couldn't attack them. This was why they were the dominant race today. Let's go to the Dark Moon race together. What? Chapter 14:11. The sacred mandala flower was finally about to break through. Ever since the sacred mandala flower had followed Yang Wu, its strength had risen steadily until it reached the pinnacle of the Saint Realm. Furthermore, it had been accumulating strength for a period of time. It had continuously devoured a number of devil race creatures, as well as many poisonous creatures. The Crown Princess had also given the poison source crystal to the sacred mandala flower. The sacred mandala flower used the poison source crystal to break through. The sacred mandala flower had been nourished by the immortal elixir and had already shown an extraordinary side. Every time Yang Wu tempered his body, she would also benefit. Everything was reasonable for her to break through. After devouring the poison source crystal's power, she crazily grew. The mountain ridge was densely covered by her flower vines. A flower with 49 petals was blooming, and the number of petals was constantly increasing. There were also bright patterns all over the petals, making her look incomparably stunning. Her figure was in the flower core, constantly absorbing the poison source crystal, and her exquisite figure became more and more perfect. Her tall figure and curvy curves were completely exposed to the air, dazzling anyone who looked at her. Little Wu, isn't her appearance especially beautiful and sexy when she transforms? Do you have any impulses? The Empress asked Yang Wu. The two of them were not far away to protect her. Yang Wu patted the Empress' head and said grumpily, "Little Wu, what nonsense are you talking about? She's a plant. So what? She can still do those shameful things. I really don't know what's in your head. When you grow up, who knows how many people you'll harm." "You're saying this old lady will grow up to be a slut?" "I didn't say that, you said it. Little Wu, this old lady has already contributed the poison source crystal, yet you dare to say this old lady? This old lady will fight you to the death." The sacred mandala flower's breakthrough to the deity level had caused a huge commotion. Many flower vines kept stabbing into the void, absorbing energy from the void. They also continuously devoured all the dark energy in the area. Moreover, they also emitted a terrifying poisonous gas, turning the surrounding area into a poisonous miasma. Anyone who got close to it would be poisoned to death by the poisonous gas. Wuguna flew up with all the crows. They stayed as far away as possible, afraid of being touched by the poisonous gas. The evil mandala flower. There really is such a thing, Wuguna exclaimed. The reputation of the evil mandala flower had spread throughout the various realms. Her status was equivalent to the top of the monster race. She was extremely rare and difficult to deal with. Nothing good would come out of running into her. After absorbing a large amount of energy, the sacred mandala flower finally broke through. Suddenly, heavenly lightning descended from the sky and blasted towards the flower. If the sacred mandala flower wanted to become a god, it had to go through the baptism of heavenly lightning tribulation. It was an evil plant that should not exist in this world, so it was unknown whether it could withstand the heavenly lightning tribulation. As the divine lightning descended, countless flower vines rushed towards the divine lightning in an attempt to block it. Rumble, rumble! The divine lightning's power was astonishing, shattering all of the flower vines. The sacred mandala flower's petals spun in reverse, producing a powerful force to block the divine lightning that continued to descend. Seeing this, Yang Wu couldn't help but exclaim, "She comprehended the way of dispersal?" Black Tortoise's way of dispersal was a defensive martial art he'd comprehended. Right now, the sacred mandala flower was using this defensive power to block the divine lightning, and it was immediately effective. Some of the divine lightning's power was dispersal, reducing the pain she had to endure. The petals spun faster and faster. Thick poisonous gas formed layer after layer, doing all it could to block the divine lightning. Whether or not she could block it would depend on her luck. Bolt after bolt of divine lightning descended, creating a huge commotion. It was comparable to the divine lightning summoned by a second tribulation divine pill. The sacred mandala flower had just broken through, and it had already caused such a commotion. It was clear how much the heavens hated her. No one could help her in this kind of divine lightning punishment, only she could endure it. The divine lightning came quickly and left quickly. The place where the sacred mandala flower was located was flattened, and a large part of it caved in. The flower vines were shattered and lightning fire was everywhere. It was a sorry sight. Yang Wu immediately rushed over, and the lightning fire around him was swallowed by him. He glanced around, and his mood instantly became bad. The sacred mandala flower was gone. Shao Man, you won't die. Aren't you very strong? Hurry up and come out. Yang Wu cried out involuntarily. The sacred mandala flower had been with him for a few years, and had helped him a lot. He didn't want her to really die. Don't worry, it's over here. Empress's voice sounded. Yang Wu looked in her direction and quickly rushed over. Sure enough, he saw the sacred mandala flower in the deep pit. The flowers were all rotten, and only a short stem was exposed. Looking at it, he didn't know if it could survive. "Shao Man, don't be afraid, I'll save you," Yang Wu shouted, and prepared to take out the immortal liquid to save the sacred mandala flower. But at that moment the stem broke and a new bud grew out. It grew quickly, and soon the sacred mandala flower appeared in front of them again. This sacred mandala flower was different from before. It had a total of 81 petals, and there were complicated patterns on the petals. They emitted a strange black aura, and each strand of black aura was in the shape of a venomous snake. It was extremely terrifying. The vines that grew out of the flower also grew thorns. They were like tiny sharp gears that could easily pierce through the flesh of any living being and absorb their blood essence. This was a completely new sacred mandala flower. Not only was this sacred mandala flower beautiful, but it was also enchanting. The flower core condensed into a human shape, and it was more seductive than before. The beautiful body was even more perfect, and it made Yang Wu's mouth dry. The Empress rushed up and covered Yang Wu's eyes and said, "See no evil, see no evil." After the sacred mandala flower slowly condensed, its body was soon covered by petals. It showed a soul-stirring smile and said, "Thank you, Master, for helping me break through to the God realm. Thank you, Miss Du, for the reward." The Empress let go of Yang Wu's eyes and said, "You can break through successfully because of your ability. You don't need to be polite. Anyway, I will get some benefits from Xiao Wuzi." "I didn't say I would give you any benefits," Yang Wu said. "She can't break through without my poison source crystal. If you don't give me benefits, who will? You generously gave it to her. I didn't ask you for it, so don't ask me for benefits." "Xiao Wuzi, don't be shameless." "Of course, so let's go to the Dark Moon Clan and find benefits for you." "Are you sure you want to go to the Dark Moon Clan? Since we've met, how can we not go?" After meeting Yang Wu and returning to the clan, the Dark Moon Clan leader was in a bad mood. Their generations of clan leaders had all received some legacies and knew some secret. They had once been followers of great Emperor Jinwu and were a subordinate race. When the immortals had exterminated their race, they had chosen to betray great Emperor Jinwu and thus escaped the calamity of being exterminated. They had been beaten into the divine firmament battlefield and had suffered much lighter injuries than the wind spirit race. For countless years, they had been trying to get rid of this trap and return to the God realm. However, the divine firmament battlefield was a place full of curses. Their reproductive ability was reduced, and their bloodline power was suppressed. They couldn't break through the restrictions in their bodies and become stronger. They couldn't leave at all. They had to have a super emissary or other battle power to leave. This was the restriction of their race being punished. The Dark Moon Clan leader called a few of his companions who had reached the God realm to discuss countermeasures. "Great Emperor Jinwu is here," said the Dark Moon Clan leader softly. The Dark Moon creatures' expressions changed. Their bloodline was branded with the fear of Great Emperor Jinwu. He's going to punish us? Our race used to follow him and made countless contributions. He won't do anything to us, right? Clan leader, what should we do? Will he agree to follow Great Emperor Jinwu again? These God realm creatures were also at a loss. The 4 words, Great Emperor Jinwu, were like a mountain pressing down on them, making it hard for them to breathe. Don't panic. He might just be a clone. Maybe his reincarnation. His strength is far from his peak, said the Dark Moon Clan leader in a low voice. Now the other deities calmed down quite a bit, but their eyes were still filled with worry. "Clan leader, what do you mean?" asked a creature. "If we don't make a choice, I'm afraid we won't be able to leave this place for the rest of our lives," said another creature. The Dark Moon Clan's clan leader wiped away his viciousness and said, "If we kill his reincarnation, the sealing power on our bodies will be removed. As long as our bloodline power recovers, we will definitely be able to return to the God realm with our clan's advantage." The other Dark Moon creatures' eyes twitched. They obviously didn't expect their clan leader to be so bold. It's easier said than done to kill him. Look at our place. Black holes are everywhere. As long as we throw him into the black hole space, he won't be able to survive. As a reincarnation, he must have all kinds of life-saving trump cards. We can't treat him lightly. Why don't we pretend to surrender to him first, then think of a way to ambush him? After we severely injure him, we can throw him into the black hole space. It'll be safer. These creatures of the Dark Moon clan had already given birth to the idea of rebelling, and they began to plan to kill Yang Wu. After they talked for half a day, they decided on the final plan. They sent creatures to find Yang Wu and bring him here. Then, they would think of a way to kill him together and throw him into the black hole space to destroy his corpse. They needed a huge bait. Otherwise, they were afraid that Yang Wu wouldn't fall for it. This bait was the Dark Moon Wild Blade of the Dark Moon clan. This true God Realm War Blade was now sealed in this space. Even though it was broken, it still represented the glory of the Dark Moon clan. If the reincarnation of the Zhenwu Great Emperor wanted them to return to his side, he naturally had to go through some tests. Before the Dark Moon creatures could find Yang Wu had already brought Crow to their door. Chapter 14:12. The number of crows wasn't small. There were at least 100,000 of them. This time, Yang Wu brought all the crows with him. This wasn't a joke. As it swept over, many creatures of darkness retreated. 100,000 crows wasn't the largest number in this space. There were many dark races that outnumbered them, but there were only a few races that were stronger than them. Yang Wu, the princess, and Mao Fei released an ancient chariot from the crow army. A group of crows pulled the chariot into battle. It was simply awe-inspiring. This feels so good, Yang Wu said excitedly. Although he was already a divine apothecary and the head of the Yang family, he had never enjoyed such a grand parade before. When he went to the Purple Firmament Palace, there were only 3,000 people traveling together. This time, it was an army of 100,000 crows. It was mighty and awe-inspiring. Little Wu, you haven't seen a real grand occasion, the princess said disdainfully. Then tell me, what grand occasion have you seen? Then I'll tell you. A real grand occasion is when there are true gods protecting you. There are also many divine rank experts in formation. There are heavenly soldiers and generals accompanying you. There are more than 1 million of them. That's what you call a grand occasion. What kind of person is capable of that? A big shot of the divine realm. Then I'll also become a big shot of the divine realm in the future. I'll let you, little Jingjing, be awe-inspiring too. TSK, bragging doesn't cost money. Unknowingly, they approached the black hole area. Some Dark Moon creatures came over and bumped into them. Crow Clan, you've got guts. How dare you approach the territory of the Dark Moon Clan? A Dark Moon creature shouted. Wuguna said loudly, hurry up and call your clan head out to greet my master. Who does your master think he is? Where is the Black Blood Mosquito Clan? Hurry up and eat these crows that have come knocking on our door, the Dark Moon clans being replied forcefully. As his voice fell, a group of black blood mosquitoes surged out from all directions and bit toward the crows. These black blood mosquitoes numbered in the hundreds of millions. Their numbers were terrifying. They were the first barrier of the Dark Moon clan. If one wanted to enter the important grounds of the Dark Moon clan, they would have to pass through these black blood mosquitoes first. Do you really think we crows are vegetarians? Children, cry out. Caw caw. Wuguna shouted, and the other crows followed suit. Croak. The terrifying cawing of the crows resounded, and the power of the sound waves swept towards the black blood mosquito tribe. Puff puff. One by one, the black blood mosquitoes were killed by the power of the sound wave. Swaths of black blood mosquitoes fell to the ground. However, there were also powerful black blood mosquitoes that broke through the sound waves and shot out their long mouths at the crows. Once the black blood mosquitoes got close, any living being would only be sucked dry. The Crow clan formed a formation, and the 100,000-strong army began to move. Their wings were like the sharpest blades, killing the Black Blood Mosquito clan. At first glance, it looked like the Crow clan had the upper hand. However, the Crow clan's power was not limitless. Once they were exhausted, it would be time for them to die. The number of Black Blood Mosquitoes was still increasing. The Black Blood Mosquito King was sitting at the back, constantly commanding them to charge forward dauntlessly. Wuguna was the strongest. It was not difficult for him to kill the Black Blood Mosquitoes by himself. However, there were dark moon creatures that attacked him, preventing him from killing the Black Blood Mosquitoes. Master, hurry up and do something. Otherwise we will all be wiped out. Wuguna faced the dark moon creatures and shouted at Yang Wu. Don't worry. They can't do anything. Shao Man, it's time for you to perform. Yang Wu touched his arm and said. Immediately after, the sacred mandala flower flew out from his arm. Countless flower vines grew out, and an evil plant that covered hundreds of miles appeared. A terrifying poisonous gas shrouded the entire area, specifically targeting the Black Blood Mosquitoes. In the blink of an eye, many Black Blood Mosquitoes fell from the sky. The sacred mandala flower's poison was overbearing. Even a god-tier creature might not be able to withstand it. The Black Blood Mosquito King screamed. They had met their nemesis. This sacred mandala flower was a plant, so they couldn't suck its vines and take its life. Moreover, the overbearing poisonous gas made them feel at a loss. If the Dark Moon clan didn't stop this sacred mandala flower, they could only run away. After the sacred mandala flower intervened, the pressure on the Crow clan was greatly reduced. They screamed even more happily. On the other hand, the beings of the Dark Moon clan were also anxious. They only had one god-tier creature to deal with Wuguna. The other creatures could not get close to the sacred mandala flower. She was covered in poisonous gas. Anyone who got close would die. They also had to prevent her from attacking them. Ask for help. We can't stop these guys. When the leader comes, they will all die. This is the first time I've met such a troublesome guy. Those who challenge my clan all die. The Dark Moon creatures sent out a signal for help. They took the chance to retreat into the black hole space to avoid being killed. As the Dark Moon creatures retreated, the Black Blood Mosquito King also retreated like the tide. Only a pile of corpses was left on the ground. Caught! Caught! We won! Wuguna shouted excitedly. The Dark Moon clan was the king of the dark space. Who dared to say they had defeated them? Now, the Crow clan was fortunate enough to work together with the sacred mandala flower to repel them. This was something to be excited about. It's still too early to win. We've only just begun. Yang Wu poured cold water on him. Master, you don't know how arrogant the Dark Moon clan is. Anyone who offends them will die. If it weren't for the ancestral weapon, we wouldn't have dared to do this, Wuguna replied. Then he continued, do you see those black holes? You can't go near them. Once you're sucked in, there's no way to survive. 8 black holes scattered in all directions. This is truly a natural danger zone. Yang Wu looked at the spinning black holes and said with a solemn expression, there are experts in the God realm who have comprehended the way of black holes. Their combat power is incomparably abnormal. The princess said from the side. After a pause, she continued, if the Dark Moon clan doesn't come out, we can only return home. I think they'll come out, and they'll come out soon, Yang Wu said based on his intuition. Sure enough, after a while, shadows emerged from the darkness. The leading creature was the leader of the Dark Moon clan. Beside him were several creatures who had reached the God realm. Behind them were a group of Dark Moon guards. Molten greets the Zhenwu Great Emperor. The leader of the Dark Moon clan bowed and greeted Yang Wu. The other creatures of the Dark Moon clan also bowed and greeted Yang Wu. Yang Wu was stunned for a moment. He said faintly, do you still see me as your great emperor? At this moment, he was surrounded by immortal qi and looked stunning. He indeed had the demeanor of a young great emperor. Is the Zhenwu Great Emperor really here? Molten was shocked. They used to belong to the forces under the Zhenwu Great Emperor. Their fear of the Zhenwu Great Emperor had long been ingrained in their blood and bones. Humph! The 4 divisions of Wind, Thunder, Dark and Light were once betrayed by the Dark Moon clan. Do you know your crime? Yang Wu coldly shouted at Molten and the others with his hands behind his back. The creatures of the Dark Moon clan were shocked, especially those who had reached the God realm. They were even more flustered. Their ancestors had indeed betrayed the Zhenwu Great Emperor, but this matter had happened a long time ago. It had nothing to do with them. Molten replied in a trembling voice, "Please calm down, Your Majesty. We are not too clear about what happened to our ancestors. We were once almost exterminated and were suppressed in this place. We are already on the decline. Please help us get out of here. We will definitely pledge our loyalty to Your Majesty and will never betray you." "You're better off saying that than singing," Yang Wu sneered. He paused for a moment and said, "Since that's the case, gather your entire clan and make them swear an oath. I'll believe you and help you leave this place." Molten was stunned for a moment. He bowed and said, "Why don't we invite the Great Emperor to our clan? After we hold a welcoming ceremony, we'll swear an oath together." "Sure," Yang Wu agreed readily. "Don't go. This is the Black Hole Zone. It's their territory. If you go in, you'll be like a lamb in a tiger's den," the princess quickly persuaded. "They dare to harm the Great Emperor? Are they tired of living?" Yang Wu replied loudly. He then looked at Molten and said, "Do you want to harm the Great Emperor's heart?" Molten trembled slightly and said, "Absolutely not." "Well, I guess you wouldn't dare. It's easy for the Great Emperor to kill you. Let's go." "I'll go with you to your clan's land," Yang Wu said proudly. "Master, you can't take the risk," Wuguna also advised. He wasn't a stupid bird. Those who could become gods in this world were all extremely talented. Once they left this place, their strength would definitely increase by leaps and bounds. He could also see that the Dark Moon clan didn't have good intentions. "Crow's beak," Yang Wu scolded. He then said to Molten, "Come and travel with us. Otherwise, I really don't dare to go in." A trace of worry flashed across Molten's face. He was afraid that Yang Wu would suddenly attack him. What would he do? Why wouldn't you dare? Are you afraid that the Great Emperor will attack you? Am I someone who would do such a thing? Besides, your strength isn't inferior to the Great Emperor's. Yang Wu seemed to see through Molten's worries and tried to provoke him. If you want to invite the Great Emperor into the trap, you have to be willing to pay the price. Molten thought to himself. He then flew in Yang Wu's direction and said, "How would I dare to refuse the Great Emperor's invitation?" Molten landed on Yang Wu's war chariot. "I don't want to be associated with such a bad person," the Empress muttered and left the war chariot with Mao Fei. Yang Wu put his hand on Molten's shoulder and said with a smile, "Haha, you're not bad. It's best if you become my loyal subordinate in the future." Molten's face twitched and he said, "The Great Emperor is too kind. I don't deserve it." "Of course you don't deserve it. I'll smash you to death, you traitor!" Yang Wu shouted and threw a black walk at Molten. Bang! Chapter 14:13. The Cauldron Shield was an innate stage weapon of a very high level. Otherwise, it wouldn't have remained unobtained for so many years. Yang Wu had already become its master and could control it. He invited Molten over to make him the scapegoat. How could the other party have good intentions when inviting him into the other party's territory? He wasn't arrogant enough to ignore the Dark Moon clan. Therefore, he had to make Molten the scapegoat. Molten had long been on guard against Yang Wu, but he couldn't defend against the power of the Cauldron Shield. When it appeared in Yang Wu's palm, it suppressed him. Poof! The Cauldron Shield enlarged, and a terrifying rebounding force restrained Molten, causing him to spit out blood on the spot. His powerful divine body was about to explode. The war chariot also broke into pieces, and the crows were all sent flying far away by a protective force. "I'll smash you to death, you traitor!" Yang Wu waved his hand again, and the cauldron shield landed on the injured Molten again. You! Poof! Molten couldn't break free in time and was suppressed again, causing him to spit out blood. How dare you betray me? You deserve to die. How dare you plot against me after coming here? You deserve to be exterminated. Do you think I'm an idiot? You didn't even act well as a traitor, and you still want to hold a welcoming ceremony? How foolish. Yang Wu was really ruthless. He didn't give Molten any chance at all. He smashed down again and again, causing Molten's body to explode. He didn't even have the strength to resist. Quick, save the chief. The Dark Moon clan members reacted and shouted, preparing to rescue Molten. You have to get through me first. Wuguna showed off his power. He shouted and charged toward the Dark Moon clan members. At the same time, the sacred mandala flower also displayed its powerful killing power. Thousands of flower vines covered the sky and stabbed toward the Dark Moon clan members. The Crown Princess and Mao Fei watched the show from the side. Fight, fight. Don't show mercy. Show these ugly fellows the Dark Moon clan some strength. The 100,000 crows moved out again. They could arrange troops and display the crow formation to kill the Dark Moon clan members. The Dark Moon clan members weren't to be trifled with. It wasn't easy for the crows to deal with them. The Dark Moon clan members hid in the darkness and were almost invisible. Ordinary creatures couldn't discover them. Just their talent alone was enough to give many creatures a headache. Streams of power shot out from the darkness and the crows were slaughtered one after another. How dare you be so arrogant in our territory? You don't know how to kill you. Release our leader or we'll kill you all. Invincible. The Dark Moon clan was indeed invincible in the dark. The Crow clan's great formation couldn't cause any damage to them at all. They were the first to be killed by the Dark Moon clan. And the sacred mandala flower formation. Scently, only the sacred mandala flower pressured the Dark Moon clan. There was no cure for her poison. No one wanted to get close to her for fear of being poisoned to death. If the sacred mandala flower hadn't blocked the Dark Moon clan members' attacks, the Crow clan would have suffered greater losses. Evil mandala flower, if you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. A god-level creature of the Dark Moon clan roared, and a black longsword pierced out of the darkness. This black longsword was also formless, and it pierced towards the core of the sacred mandala flower. As long as the soul of the core was pierced, the sacred mandala flower would die without a doubt. Hee, I've entered my second form. How can you low-level races compare to me? The sacred mandala flower laughed, and its petals began to spin. A powerful force rolled out in all directions, and the invisible black sword was shaken away. The sacred mandala flower was known as one of the top 10 evil plants. Naturally, it had its extraordinary side. After being nourished by the immortal elixir, it had become even more extraordinary. After breaking through to the sacred realm, it displayed even more powerful combat strength. The Dark Moon clan members attacked continuously. Rays of sword light with the power of darkness slashed down crazily. They were determined to kill the sacred mandala flower. The sacred mandala flower breathed out terrifying poisonous gas. Countless flower vines attacked. She could fight many Dark Moon clan members at the same time with ease. At this moment, Molten was in a complete tragedy. He was a high-level Sacred Realm expert and stronger than ordinary emissaries. However, after being attacked by Yang Wu, he was completely stunned. The Black Walk was too powerful. Even he couldn't take it from the Crow clan. It was obvious how high level it was. This was an innate stage combat weapon. Moreover, it was infused with the spirit of the Crow ancestor. The power it displayed was extraordinary. Of course, it was only able to suppress him because Yang Wu consumed the power of his immortal root. Otherwise, no matter how high level it was, it wouldn't be able to suppress Molten. The power of Yang Wu's immortal root was limited. If he continued to consume it, it would be drained very quickly. However, he was going all out this time. He wouldn't allow Molten to escape. His body grew crazily and exceeded 150 feet. It was even bigger than when he was at the 7th level of the celestial realm. He refined the immortal elixir to replenish the power of his immortal root. He used all means to suppress Molten. Bang bang! Under Yang Wu's crazy attacks, Molten was really in a tragic situation. His physical defense wasn't his strong point. His divine body was smashed again and again. He wanted to break free, but he couldn't. The pressure of the walk shield bound him tightly. After a series of crazy attacks, Molten was suppressed by the walk shield. Yang Wu roared, "Dark Moon Clan, listen up. If you don't stop, I'll kill your leader first." As soon as he finished speaking, black blood mosquitoes frantically stung him. These black blood mosquitoes couldn't get close. A strong rebound force blocked them all several miles away. They couldn't get close to him at all. Even the dark moon beings who were charging at him from the shadows couldn't get close to him. At this time, the creatures on both sides separated, no longer fighting with their lives on the line. Yang Wu had already taken down Molten and gained the upper hand in the battle. "Let go of our leader quickly. Otherwise, you won't be able to leave here," one of the Dark Moon Clan creatures shouted. His name was Morluo, and he was an expert second only to Molten. He was the one who had fought with Waguna and injured him. Just as he finished speaking, the pot shield smashed into Molten's body again, breaking a few more of his bones. "Every time he says something threatening, I'll smash him until he's dead," Yang Wu said calmly. "You dare?" Morluo roared angrily. "See if I dare or not," Yang Wu replied. The walk shield shook again. Ah! Before Molten could even catch his breath, tragedy struck again. He couldn't help but let out a blood-curdling scream. "Bastards, don't even think about leaving here," Morluo said angrily. In the end, Molten was tortured again. "Do you really want to be the leader? Is that why you keep threatening me, hoping that I'll kill him?" Yang Wu asked Morluo. The other Dark Moon Clan creatures looked at Morluo with a different gaze. Molten, who wasn't smashed to death, also looked at Morluo with resentment in his single eye. "Don't slander me. I don't have such thoughts. I'm just angry that you hurt our leader," Morluo explained. "I've already said earlier that I don't accept threats. In that case, why are you still threatening me time and time again? Don't you want me to kill him so that you can become the clan leader?" Yang Wu's lips curled into an evil smile. "After that," he added, "why don't I grant you your wish? No. Just tell me what you want. Just let our leader go." Morluo hurriedly waved his hand and replied. He really didn't want to be the leader. His strength wasn't enough to intimidate his companions. Moreover, he was afraid that if Molten escaped, he would be the first one to die. "You should have done this from the beginning. Why did you have to force me?" Yang Wu replied indifferently. Then he said, "I didn't want to pay attention to you guys at first. It was you guys who wanted to attack me first, so I had no choice but to fight back. Now, it's very simple to solve this matter. Take out the good things in your clan and pay for your leader's life." "Are you trying to blackmail us? Hey, isn't this obvious?" Morluo was so angry that smoke was coming out of his 7 orifices. The other Dark Moon Clan creatures also looked indignant. They had stayed in the dark space for many years, and no creature had ever dared to treat them like this. They were the ones who bullied the other party. Now they were the ones who got pecked in the eye. The Dark Moon Clan creatures had no choice. Yang Wu also didn't want to bargain with them, so he asked Lady to tie up Molten. The level of Lady's God Binding Rope was much higher than Yang Wu's God Binding Rope. After tying Molten up, he couldn't escape even if he recovered. Moreover, Lady also had other means to seal Molten's power, making it difficult for him to recover. Next, it was up to the Dark Moon Clan creatures. The Dark Moon Clan had no choice. After they returned to their clan, they immediately brought some things over. In fact, most of the treasures were with Molten. The things they brought out were all second-rate items. After Yang Wu saw it, he didn't dislike it. Instead, he was extremely surprised. These second-rate items were quite amazing. There were many strange items with the power of darkness, and their value was extraordinary. Before Yang Wu could speak, Lady said, "You brought out these second-rate items. You really don't care about your leader's life." Morluo hurriedly explained, "These are already the best things we have. If you don't believe me, you can ask our leader." "All the good things are with this guy," Wu Guna said from the side. "Oh, then let him spit out everything in exchange for his life. Otherwise, throw him into the black hole and end it all," Yang Wu replied indifferently. "Did you hear that? Hurry up and take out everything," Wu Guna said as he stared at Molten. Molten replied with difficulty, It's all in the clan. There's no use keeping him." "Throw him into the black hole," Yang Wu said murderously. Lady carried him and rushed in the direction of the black hole. This scared the Dark Moon clan creatures into a panic. Molten didn't dare to be stubborn. He quickly cried and begged, I'll take it. I'll take it." Chapter 14:14. Molten took out all the valuables he had on him. This guy was indeed filthy rich. Compared to the items the Dark Moon clan had taken out, the value of these items was dozens or even hundreds of times higher. For example, the Heart of Darkness, the Night Star Divine Flower, the mysterious Black Divine Stone, the Void Stone, and many other divine items could be seen here. When the Crown Princess saw the Void Stone, she screamed excitedly, "Void Stone! I want the Void Stone!" The Void Stone was an important material for setting up the Void Formation. It was also the foundation of the Void Formation. It was priceless. The Crown Princess was someone who knew her stuff. Naturally, she didn't want to miss out on the Void Stone. Yang Wu didn't care. The Crown Princess had a great background. Anything that could move her was naturally extraordinary. Although he cared, he didn't fight with her. After all, there was more than one Void Stone. The Crown Princess only took the biggest one and left a smaller one for him. He was satisfied. His gaze fell on the God Stones. There were at least hundreds of thousands of mid-grade God Stones and hundreds of thousands of high-grade God Stones. All of these were needed by God-level creatures. In addition, the young martial god had said that he needed to gather 1 million high-grade God Stones. He had too few God Stones now. This amount of God Stones could be considered a big gain. As long as he continued to work hard, he might be able to gather it quickly. "Can you let me go now?" Molten suppressed the anger in his heart and said loudly. Yes. Let go of our clan leader." "You can't go back on your words," Molten shouted. "There's one more small condition." "Then I'll let you go," Yang Wu said. This time, the Dark Moon clan creatures were anxious. Yang Wu was being too much of a bully. "Don't be nervous. I just want to know where there are the most god ranges. Take me there and I'll let him go." Yang Wu didn't wait for them to speak and said his small request. "How would we know where there are the most god ranges?" Molten replied without thinking. Indeed, if they knew where there were the most god ranges, why would they keep them? They would have collected them long ago. I know where there are, but I'm afraid you won't dare to go," Molten said. Hee, there's no place this great emperor doesn't dare to go." Yang Wu laughed. "All right, let me go and I'll take you there," Molten said. "Let you go? That's impossible," Yang Wu said with certainty. Then he added, "My servant, you don't have the right to negotiate with this great emperor." Molten and Morlo were helpless. They didn't expect Yang Wu to be so shameless. If they could kill Yang Wu quickly, they wouldn't hesitate. Unfortunately, that pot shield was too astonishing, and they didn't have a weapon of the same level that could break through its rebounding power. Yang Wu didn't go overboard. He gave Molten some breathing space and escorted him to the divine vein. Moro and the other god-tier lifeforms quickly followed suit. They would not allow Yang Wu to kill their patriarch. They couldn't wait to tear Yang Wu into pieces. The other party was definitely not the great Emperor Jinwu. He was simply a bandit. Molten didn't play any tricks. After leading Yang Wu and the others around, they arrived at the edge of the dark space. This place was strangely quiet, as if there were no living creatures here. However, they could feel traces of pure celestial chi from afar. Not far away, there was a place with all kinds of lush trees and flowers. In the dark space, it was rare to see such lush plant. If I'm not wrong, there should be many divine veins over there, Molten said with a look of desire as he looked at the place. How can you be so sure? Yang Wu asked. Just watch. You'll be sure soon, Molten replied. Sure enough, not long after, an astonishing scene appeared. The ground in front of them suddenly cracked open, and rays of divine light flowed out. A large amount of celestial chi nourished the surrounding area. Yang Wu and the others felt the aura of these divine veins from afar. It was indeed as Molten had said. This was the land of divine veins. It really is a divine vein, and it's a high-grade one, the princess exclaimed softly. There seems to be a lot of them, Mao Fei agreed. Caw, caw. Wuguna and his flock of crows also cried out excitedly. Very good. Go and take out all the divine veins, and I'll let your patriarch go, Yang Wu said to the creatures of the Dark Moon clan very cautiously. Don't scheme against them. Even if I die, I won't agree to let them go. That place is very dangerous. Anyone who goes there will die, Molten said. What kind of danger is there? Hurry up and say it all at once. Don't play tricks. I can't say exactly what kind of danger it is. I just saw someone stronger than me enter with my own eyes and get killed by a terrifying power. I really can't tell. Go and scout for me. We've already fulfilled our promise. If you continue to bully people like this, then I can only die. Let's see what kind of danger there is first. I also feel that this place is a bit strange, the princess said. If we don't let them scout, we don't know where the danger comes from. Yang Wu replied. Then he sneered and said, You can't be merciful to traitors. Either you go or they go for you. Choose. You're going too far. Molten and the other creatures of the Dark Moon clan yelled. They agreed to Yang Wu's request, but they didn't expect Yang Wu to be so unreasonable. He had no intention of letting them go at all. I'll go, Molten said without hesitation. Patriarch, let me go. Even if I die, I won't let him go, Molten said firmly. Morlo spoke with incomparable firmness, but in fact, his feet did not move at all. How could he have the courage to sacrifice himself generously? The other creatures of the Dark Moon clan also rushed to say that they wanted to go, but in reality, no one dared to go. At a critical moment, no one wanted to lose their lives so easily. All right, stop arguing. I'll bring them here. Let me go personally. Whether it's a blessing or a curse, we can't avoid it. I just hope that after this you won't play any tricks, Molten said. Don't worry. This great emperor is not someone who goes back on his words, Yang Wu said as he patted his chest. Then, he took out the pot shield that was pressing on Molten's body. Molten could finally stand up, but he was still tied up with the god-binding rope. He said, If I don't recover some of my strength, I'm afraid I won't even have the chance to walk over. You won't be able to figure out what's going on. Little Jingjing, loosen his strength, Yang Wu said to the princess. The princess quickly took out the nail that was nailed to his body, but she didn't remove the god-binding rope. All right, you can make the trip now. Molten didn't negotiate. He adjusted his breathing and recovered some strength. Then, he stepped into the air and flew forward. The god-binding rope only tied up his body and hands. He could still move his legs, so he was perfect for being a spy. Molten had a certain understanding of this territory. He had explored this place many times and had long wanted to take this place for himself. However, he knew the risks involved better than anyone else. He thought to himself, How dare you humiliate me like this? I'll make you pay the price. In the next moment, Molten rushed toward the nearest divine range. 2 dark rays of light shot out from his feet as he launched an attack. Suddenly, a terrifying power rushed out from the crack in the divine range. It was like a powerful blade crack. The majestic aura was comparable to the attack of a top-level divine realm creature. Molten reacted quickly. As the blade approached, he dodged to the side. The blade aura slashed past him, and at the same time, cut the god-binding rope on his body. "Haha, I'm finally free!" Molten laughed wildly. Then, he shouted, "It's your turn to be unlucky." Waves of power burst out from his body and blasted toward the surroundings. In particular, he launched an astonishing attack in the direction of Yang Wu. A black palm print streaked across the sky. At first, Yang Wu couldn't figure out what the other party was trying to do. However, he soon understood. His expression changed drastically, and he screamed, "Retreat quickly!" Then, he pulled the crown princess and Mao Fei and frantically retreated. Unfortunately, it was too late. Strange spatial cracks appeared in the space where they were, and countless blade auras swept out. "Bastard!" The Empress cursed loudly. A power was added to her body, enveloping her and Mao Fei together. Yang Wu also held the pot shield and injected power into it. It instantly became big and blocked the blade auras that came out of the void. Pu. Caw caw. A large number of crows from the Crow clan died instantly. They weren't enveloped by the pot shield. The pot shield's rebound power was indeed superb. It blocked the fatal attack for Yang Wu in time. If he was a little slower, he would have died without a doubt. "This is too much," Yang Wu exclaimed in his heart. He didn't expect Molten to ignore his companions. The blade auras took away the lives of 2 Dark Moon Clan creatures. No one could have expected the terrifying blade auras that suddenly appeared in this space. No one could understand what was going on. It was as if they had existed in this place for a long time, and no one could stop them. Yang Wu activated the pot shield, enveloping the crown princess, Mao Fei and the Crow clan in it. Then, he quickly retreated. Molten, who was on the scene, shouted crazily, "My clan's divine weapon, kill these villains for me." Molten actually cut his arm and sprinkled his blood in this place. It was as if he was summoning something. The blade auras that came out of the void became more and more terrifying. They landed on the pot shield one after another, and cracks appeared on the pot shield's defensive power. Quickly leave this place. Otherwise we will all die," the crown princess shouted. "I want to leave too, but these blade auras are too scary. I can't hold on for long." "It's really abominable," Yang Wu said anxiously. "Haha, I told you to play with me. I'll play you to death now." Molten looked at Yang Wu, who was in trouble, and laughed. At this critical moment, Yang Wu opened his soul eye and saw a broken blade in the center of the holy range. A blade technique chant appeared in his mind. Chapter 14-15. Apocalyptic Frenzied Blade. Yang Wu had obtained this combat skill for a long time, but he hadn't focused too much on cultivating it. He was more focused on spear techniques and sword technique. Now, after seeing the broken blade in the center of the divine vein, the incantation of the apocalyptic frenzied blade naturally appeared. The 3 sword techniques, Demon Slayer, and Apocalyptic, were extremely overbearing and not something ordinary combat skills could compare to. Previously, when he was meditating and cultivating, he felt that it was difficult, so he temporarily put it aside. When Yang Wu saw the broken blade, he had such a feeling that even he was surprised. It was as if the apocalyptic frenzied blade had a lot to do with the broken blade. Unfortunately, the current situation was extremely critical. If they didn't leave this place, these blade auras would cut them into pieces. Molten didn't dare to stay here for long. He hid here and there and was also retreating. However, he wanted to kill Yang Wu, so he kept directing his power in the direction of Yang Wu. After all, his strength was there, and he was very familiar with the terrain of this place. It was much easier for him to leave this place than for other creatures. "None of you can escape. Blood sacrifice my clan's battle blade and let it appear," Molten shouted. He had long known that there was a broken blade around the divine vein. He had a vague feeling that it might be their clan's ancestral weapon, the dark moon frenzied blade. However, he couldn't get close to it no matter how hard he tried. He felt that he wasn't strong enough, or that he hadn't comprehended the battle blade's sword intent, so he couldn't take it away. The situation Yang Wu saw was different. Through his soul eye, he found that the divine vein had formed a formation that was intertwined with each other, suppressing the broken blade and not allowing it to appear. The surrounding blade auras were formed by the power of this formation. Only by destroying the formation would they have a chance to survive, and the broken blade would appear at the same time. Princess also noticed the situation and said anxiously, "This is a formation. We have to take the initiative to break it. The range of this formation is too large, and it's too late to retreat now. I found a formation as long as we work together to destroy it, it'll be fine." Yang Wu immediately responded. Then, he urged the pot shield to protect them as they rushed in a direction. "You hold them back, I'll break the formation." The Empress was incomparably calm at this crucial moment, not panicking at all. Morlo, on the other hand, cried to Molten, "Chief, what's going on? Let us go quickly." Molten replied, "I have already touched this space completely. I have to sacrifice my blood to the blade in order to draw it out and destroy this space. Otherwise we will all die." "Patriarch, you're so heartless that you even schemed against us," Morlo said in disbelief. "It's not that I'm scheming against you. I have no other choice. In order for our race to leave this place, it must come into being." Molten replied. Not wasting any more words, he continued to bleed as he rushed towards the direction of the broken blade. His courage was truly commendable. Bang bang! Saber chi slashed out one after another, and the pot shield suffered heavy blows. More than half of the crows inside were killed or injured. If this continued, it wouldn't be long before they were all wiped out. "Master, hurry up and think of something," Wu Guna begged. They had just followed Yang Wu, and now they were facing the danger of being wiped out. The master that their ancestors had found for them was too unreliable. "Don't worry, we'll be able to escape very soon," Yang Wu replied with a solemn expression. The saber chi in front of them was even heavier, and the power was even more terrifying. They couldn't get close at all. "Damn it, these attacks are too terrifying. I can't get close at all," the Empress said anxiously. "You control the pot shield. I'll go out and destroy it," Yang Wu said decisively. "No, the saber chi here can kill gods. It's a top-level divine formation. I'll be killed if I go out." "Let me think of something," the Empress replied firmly. Yang Wu didn't wait for her to agree. He stuffed the pot shield into her body and rushed out in a flash. "Little Wu!" the Empress cried out. Yang Wu rushed out of the pot shield's defense. He became like a loach in the midst of the saber chi. He could be killed by the saber chi at any moment. He had the soul eye, so he could see the saber chi coming to kill him. He reacted in advance. However, the saber chi was still scraping him painfully. If he had been a little slower, he would have died without a doubt. "Hurry up! Hurry up!" Yang Wu shouted in his heart. He only needed to get a few hundred feet closer to the eye of the formation, and he could destroy it. Suddenly, the space beside him cracked open, and a strand of saber chi slashed down furiously from the top of his head. He was unable to dodge it. The Empress saw this and was so scared that her face turned pale. That saber chi was enough to take Yang Wu's life. Void travel technique. At the critical moment, Yang Wu was still able to calm down. He used void travel to escape. He barely dodged the saber chi. He appeared in another direction, where the saber chi was just as frightening. His body was cut a few times, and the god-class armor he wore exploded. The King Jade armor was also destroyed. There were deep gashes that revealed his bones. Electric fork, come out! Yang Wu couldn't hide anymore. Even though he was still 200 feet away from the eye of the formation, he could only use all his strength to break it. Boom! After the electric fork came out, waves of divine thunder exploded and collided with the saber chi nearby. The divine thunder was shattered, and the saber chi continued to slash towards Yang Wu. The divine weapon electric fork came into play. Yang Wu injected the power of his immortal root into the divine weapon electric fork. The power of the lightning fork increased greatly. Not only did it shatter all the saber chi, but it also blasted towards the eye of the formation. The lightning fork was like a snake. It kept moving forward, shattering all the saber chi. Just as it was about to reach the eye of the formation, it couldn't continue. Yang Wu gritted his teeth and roared, "Break for me!" He squeezed out the last of the power of his immortal root and forced out the power of the electric fork again. He also threw the divine weapon electric fork. This time, the divine weapon electric fork was powerful. The power of the lightning fork once again broke through the saber chi. It fiercely stabbed into the eye of the formation. Bang! The power of the formation was incomparably strong. It instantly exploded. Yang Wu only felt a wave of power sweep over him. It shook him so much that he spat out blood and rolled away. The Empress didn't hesitate and rushed towards Yang Wu with her pot shield. "Little Wu, don't let anything happen to you. Don't let anything happen to you," the Empress kept repeating. As the eye of the formation was destroyed, the saber chi in this direction really stopped. The Empress's movements were much faster. In the blink of an eye, she landed in front of Yang Wu. The pot shield covered Yang Wu to prevent him from being hurt again. At this moment, Yang Wu's body was almost about to explode. The rebounding force was too terrifying. He hadn't reached the Jade Moon realm yet. Enduring the power of a peak god, even if it was just a little bit of power, was too difficult for him. Fortunately, he didn't faint this time. He quickly refined a drop of immortal liquid to quickly heal his injuries. The Empress also anxiously fed him God's Spring, afraid that he would accidentally die. Yang Wu activated the Supreme Nine Mysteries arts to refine the immortal liquid and God's Spring. His body emitted a transparent light, and his injuries quickly healed. That was close. Yang Wu sighed softly. "Little Wu, promise me that you won't do such a stupid thing in the future. I have a way to destroy the eye of the formation," the Empress said with a pained expression. Don't worry. It looked very dangerous just now, but it was all within my expectations." Yang Wu sat cross-legged and responded. He sped up the refinement. He didn't want to let go of the god's vein here. As long as he dug it out, it would be enough for him to leave this battlefield. They had only destroyed a corner of the eye of the formation. The entire formation was still operating. The few creatures from the Dark Moon clan were killed by the sword energy, and their blood seeped into the ground and into the formation. The broken sword that was isolated by the formation absorbed all the blood. Molten was also severely injured, and the blood in his body was almost dry. He looked at the broken sword not far away and shouted, "My clan soldier, why don't you recognize me as your master?" "Blood. I need blood." A weak voice came from the broken sword. "Okay, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you as long as you're willing to become my soldier." Molten threw caution to the wind and continued to bleed as he rushed forward. Finally, under the guidance of the broken sword, he finally approached the center area. His body was also sucked over by a strong suction force. His almost dried-up body came in front of the broken sword and revealed an incomparably crazy expression. He laughed and said, "Ha ha! The mad blade of my Dark Moon clan is finally in my..." Before he could finish speaking, a force rushed into his glabella, and traces of blood seeped out. His body froze on the spot and didn't move for a long time. Yang Wu and the others didn't have the time to pay attention to him. They had already retreated quite far away, afraid that they would be trapped by the formation here again. Before Yang Wu could fully recover, the space in front of him suddenly trembled. Rumble, rumble! A terrifying sound of movement shook here, as if the void was about to explode. Yang Wu and the others were so scared that they retreated even further. The Crown Princess exclaimed, "This formation is about to be destroyed. It's that sealed broken sword. It's about to come out." Yang Wu's soul I could see through all the nothingness, and he could still see that the broken sword was erupting with an incomparably terrifying force. As the movement became louder and louder, the formation eyes were destroyed one by one, and the void collapsed one by one. This place was like the end of the world. Many turbulent flows kept rushing out, and the sword chi no longer condensed. A dazzling sword light broke through the air, and it was as if the void within 1,000,000 feet was destroyed by this sword. "Ha ha! I'm finally out, I'm finally out!" Molten's voice roared. Yang Wu and the Crown Princess's expressions changed drastically. If Molten didn't die and obtained the broken sword, they would be in danger. Suddenly, a force pulsed in the void, and a golden seal word flashed and suppressed him. Bang! Chapter 14:16. The word seal was an ancient immortal character, just like the one Yang Wu had broken in the Wind Spirit clan. The power of this word was astonishing, and it wanted to seal Molten and the broken sword together. Molten showed a fanatical attitude and slashed at the sky with the broken sword. "After so many years, you still want to suppress me? Impossible!" Molten shouted wildly, and the moon-like sword light collided with the word seal. Boom! Boom! The earth-shattering power was even more shocking than when the divine array was broken. This was a power that surpassed the top god level, and its destructive power was too shocking. Yang Wu and the Crown Princess could only feel the terrifying power colliding continuously. The deafening sound made them uncomfortable, and they couldn't see how fierce the battle was. Yang Wu could understand a little. When he was in the Wind Spirit clan, he also borrowed the power of the Zhenwu Great Emperor to destroy the word seal. Right now, Molten was probably possessed by the remnant soul in the broken sword, and he was borrowing the power of the broken sword to destroy the word seal. Whether it was effective or not depended on whether their combination was strong enough. "It seems that the 4 major clans are really sealed in this place," Yang Wu said with emotion. "That's right. I already said that the Dark Moon clan was once your subordinate. Why didn't you save them? Instead, you became enemies with them?" the Crown Princess asked with a puzzled expression. "I'm not the Zhenwu Great Emperor," Yang Wu emphasized to the Crown Princess. "Then why did you save the Wind Spirit clan?" "The Wind Spirit clan is weak. I saved them, and they know how to be grateful. The Dark Moon clan doesn't take me seriously, and they do have the intention to rebel. I didn't expect them to submit to me. It's more practical to get some benefits from them. I just want to leave this broken place as soon as possible." "Okay, so are we going to leave or stay? Let's wait and see. It's best if both sides are injured, and we can still take advantage of them." After an unknown amount of time, the collision in front finally subsided. "Haha, this world can't seal me anymore. It can't seal me anymore. I, the Dark Moon, will return." Molten's maniacal laughter resounded throughout the world. Suddenly, a saber light pierced through the air, heading straight for Yang Wu and the Crown Princess. Yang Wu and the princess felt their hair stand on end. They were unable to dodge this attack. "Electric fork!" Yang Wu shouted. "Haircut!" The Crown Princess also shouted. The divine weapon electric trident flew back and quickly met the power of the saber. The Crown Princess's hair also flew out, carrying a streak of light with it as it slashed down. Bang! Bang! A shocking explosion rang out and the space shook once again. Yang Wu and the Crown Princess were both sent flying at the same time. Cat Fei and the crows were frightened. Fortunately, the power of the saber light was completely blocked. The divine weapon, the electric fork, and the hairband both had weapon spirit. Even without the power of their masters, they could still fight. After all, the broken saber wasn't complete. It had consumed a lot of energy when it was fighting against the seal character. It couldn't kill Yang Wu and the princess anymore. A fierce look flashed across Molten's single eye. He was unwilling to let it go just like that. Pot shield, smash it. Yang Wu was even more tenacious. He summoned the pot shield and smashed it at Molten. Molten was traumatized by the pot shield. He was so scared that he retreated with the broken saber and shouted, "When I recover my strength, it will be the time of your death." Molten quickly broke through the space with the broken saber and fled. Yang Wu and the princess were stunned. The other party was in such a hurry to leave. Could it be that he was at the end of his rope? In fact, they guessed correctly. Molten had consumed all his energy to deal with the seal character. The attack just now was to scare Yang Wu and the princess. It would be better if he could kill them, but if he couldn't, he had to leave immediately. The two of them were stunned for a while before they came back to their senses. "He's gone." "I think so." "Then the divine veins underground belong to us, right?" "You still have those divine veins?" "Of course." There were many divine veins on the ground, which was the energy needed for the formation to seal the broken saber. Or perhaps the broken saber wanted to absorb the power of these divine veins to recover, but it was sealed here and couldn't use the power of these divine veins to recover. Now that Molten had left with the broken saber, the formation here was completely broken, but the divine veins were still here. Yang Wu couldn't care less and rushed to the bottom of the divine veins. There were indeed divine veins below this place. Wisps of pure energy were emitted, nourishing many plants and growing many high-level herbs. "We're rich, we're really rich," Yang Wu said excitedly. The princess was very calm. She didn't care about these divine veins at all. Yang Wu didn't hesitate to order the Crow tribe to fly over and extract all the divine veins here. 30,000 of the 100,000 crows had died, and there were still 70,000 left. The team looked huge, and it was much more efficient to use them to excavate the divine veins here. Some crows wanted to steal the god stones, but they were killed by Wuguna. Even he didn't dare to do so, but his subordinates did. They must be tired of living. Several divine veins were cleared out. There was a total of 1,200 square meters, which was equivalent to 1,200,000 high-grade god stones. "I've collected enough money for the trip back," Yang Wu said excitedly. One of the missions given to him by the young martial god was to prepare 1,000,000 high-grade god stones. Now, he was finally done. This also meant that he could return to the human realm. The princess was also happy for Yang Wu. They didn't dare to stay here for long. After putting away the divine veins, they quickly left this place. Following that, Yang Wu led the 70,000 Crow tribe members towards the other danger zones. He had to travel around before returning to find the young martial god. He also had to make the best use of his time and continue to collect more high-level divine objects. With the pot shield, they could cross many dangerous places safely. Otherwise, with so many of them moving, the other races would gang up on them. Along the way, Yang Wu found many good things. He and the princess also took action many times to steal some things. Especially after the sacred mandala flower became a god, she could still be of great use. In addition, Wuguna was also a strong force, but he hated places outside of the dark space, so his fighting strength was affected. He didn't know how long he would have to follow Yang Wu. During this time, Yang Wu quietly broke through to the 6th level of the Star Rune Realm, and his fighting strength increased by another level. This was the benefit of the Regal 9 Mysteries art. He could absorb much more power from all around. During this time, he also used the void tempering technique to temper his body. His skin, tendons, organs, and bones were all improved again and again. As long as his physical body could withstand more void energy, he would be able to travel through the void even faster. After half a year, they came to a bright space. All of the crows were panicking. They hated this kind of light power the most. "You guys find a place to stay. We're going in for a stroll," Yang Wu said to Wuguna. "Then can you leave the ancestral armaments to us? We don't feel safe here," Wuguna, the grand deity, said nervously. Ever since they left the dark space, they hadn't had a moment of peace. They had been constantly on tenterhooks along the way. There were quite a few divine-level creatures in this place, and there were also a few terrifying races that they couldn't deal with. Without the pot shield by their side, they indeed couldn't calm down. Many crows wouldn't be able to handle it. The pot shield already belonged to Yang Wu. Whether he kept it or not was up to him. Wuguna couldn't force him. He felt that Yang Wu most likely wouldn't keep it, but he had to consider the other crows. Yang Wu casually tossed the pot shield to Wuguna and said, I'll leave it to you guys. Stay here and wait for me to come back. Wuguna was a bit stunned when he received the pot shield. He didn't think that Yang Wu would give it to them just like that. This was too straightforward. It felt like it couldn't believe what it was seeing. Without waiting for him to come back to his senses, Yang Wu had already led the Crown Princess and Mao Fei into the light space. Wuguna came back to his senses and said, Our ancestor has chosen a good master. Actually, he didn't know that Yang Wu didn't think much of the pot shield. He already had 2 divine weapons. Without the pot shield, he didn't care. Furthermore, as his strength gradually increased, ordinary god-level experts wouldn't be his match. We met the Wind Spirit race and the Dark Moon race. I don't know if we'll meet the Divine Light race here, the Crown Princess muttered. Divine Light race? The light race of the 4 great tribes? Yang Wu countered. Yes. Rumor has it that the Divine Light race is the most mysterious of the 4 great tribes. Not many people have seen their true faces. They're the most powerful of the 4 tribes, and they're the most loyal subordinates of the Zhenwu Great Emperor. When they were exterminated by the Celestial, they fought back and seriously injured the Celestial. So powerful! They are powerful, but it's also possible that they really were exterminated by the Celestial. There was only white light in this space. It was very blinding. It was difficult to see anything more than 1,000 feet away with the naked eye. If an ordinary creature was here, they wouldn't even be able to open their eyes. The blinding white light was so blinding that no creature could get used to it. Mao Fei couldn't even open her eyes. She let out a manic cry and didn't want to move forward. The Crown Princess couldn't get used to it either. It was even more uncomfortable than in the dark space. They could still use the night light in the dark space, but this light space was truly too troublesome. Yang Wu had to slow down. Why don't you wait for me outside? I'll walk around. If nothing happens, I'll come out. No, I want to go with you, the Crown Princess replied. After a pause, she said, Since we can't walk with our eyes open, we'll close our eyes and sense. It won't be hard for us. That's right. I am planning to cultivate my soul power. Yang Wu nodded his head in response. Thus, they each used black cloth to cover their eyes. Even Mao Fei's eyes were covered. When they closed their eyes and used their soul power to sense, they felt much better. At the same time, they saw something unexpected. Chapter 14:17. The white rays of light were all emitted by the stones. Those are light stones, there are so many of them. The Empress cried out in surprise. No wonder this space is so strange. There are light stones everywhere, no wonder we can't open our eyes. There's also a patch of light stone sand over there, Yang Wu also replied. 4 powerhouses at their level, even if they were to cover their eyes and use their senses to see their surroundings, they would still be able to clearly see what was in front of them. There were light stones in front of them, as well as light sand, all of which emitted natural light. It was a material used to refine light weapons, and was also a favorite stone material for martial artists who cultivated the power of light. It was very difficult to see them in other places, but here they were everywhere, and they could be collected anywhere. It was really too extravagant. Yang Wu and the Empress casually picked them up, measured them in their hands, and then crushed them. Sparkling and translucent stone dust scattered from their fingers. Very pure light stones, but unfortunately not of high grade, Yang Wu judged. I think there might be a high-grade light stone vein here. We can dig it out, the Empress said eagerly. You're right, but I think we're not the only ones who have such thoughts. I'm afraid other creatures will have such thoughts as well, Yang Wu replied. Then let's see whose fist is harder, the Empress replied. As they went deeper, they saw a desert of light. There were flashes of light everywhere, and it was really very dazzling. If they hadn't covered their eyes, they wouldn't have been able to bear this blinding light. They randomly picked up some top-grade light sand on the ground, which was comparable to saint-level materials. Along the way, they didn't find any living creatures. Instead, they got lost. It was a vast expanse of whiteness, and it was difficult to distinguish north from south. They weren't anxious because of this. In this half a year, they had passed through many dangerous places and encountered many troublesome things, but they hadn't been able to trap them. A mere loss wouldn't be able to trap them. However, when they confirmed the direction of their return, they were completely flustered. I can't sense the consciousness left outside, the Empress said in a panic. Yang Wu also said in a low voice, I can't sense it either. Before they came in, they had left their willpower outside, so they could return according to their willpower. Now that the connection had suddenly been cut off, they couldn't help but panic. We can't go any deeper. Let's go, Yang Wu said decisively. Thus, they turned around and went back, thinking of a way to leave this place. In the end, they really couldn't find the way back. The situation in the surroundings was the same. It was an endless desert of light. Anyone who looked at it would feel despair. They were all deity-level experts. They unfolded their bodies and flew up, hoping to use their speed to break through this desert of light. However, the result was the same. They were still stuck in this desert of light, unable to leave. There's definitely something strange about this place, the Empress said with certainty. Let me see if it's an illusion or not, Yang Wu replied. He opened his soul eye and prepared to see through the situation. As soon as his soul eye opened, it was immediately pierced by a strong light, causing him to scream miserably. Then, he closed his soul eye again. Let me try, Mao Fei replied. She opened her 4 eyes and activated her eye technique to see if she could gain anything. Meow. Mao Fei's outcome was the same as Yang Wu's. Her 4 eyes were all injured by the strong piercing light. Don't open your eyes again. We've entered an area of strong light. The sand in this place is all top-grade light sand. The light is incomparably strong, and the eyes can't stand it, the Empress said. Then, she took out an item. It was a rhombus-shaped mirror. After she injected power into it, a brilliant light flickered, tangling with the white light. It wanted to break through the reflection power of the white light. However, after the power of the white light was injected into the mirror, it became dim and lost its color. Why is it like this? My divine mirror actually lost its effect, the Empress said in panic. The mirror in her hand was of an extraordinary level. It had the ability to break through all obstacles, but now it actually lost its effect. Looks like there's really something strange about this place. Let's calm down and think about how to find a way out, Yang Wu said. Let me try again. The Empress was unwilling to give up just like that. She took out another item. It was another divine weapon. It was the soaring shuttle. It was a divine weapon that could bring people through the void at extreme speed. She quickly brought Yang Wu with her, hoping to leave this place. In the end, the soaring shuttle, which was famous for its speed, also lost its effect. The power of the white light could purify all energy. Bastard, why is it like this? The Empress cursed. Don't worry. Since we know there's something strange about it, there must be a way to break it. Let me think about it, Yang Wu comforted her. And little Wu knows you must have a way. I believe in you. The Empress gently leaned on Yang Wu and said. No one could compare with the speed at which she changed her expression. Yang Wu could only let her be. He sat down cross-legged and urged his soul to fly out of the divine court. As his realm recovered, his soul became much stronger. It wasn't that difficult for his soul to leave his body. He planned to use his soul to observe the strangeness of this space and find a flaw. Soul leaving your body, that's too dangerous. The Empress sensed Yang Wu's actions and softly said. Once the soul was injured, the lightest result would be a headache. In the worst case, the soul would be damaged and become an idiot or even die. The soul was one of the foundations of a human's life. It's fine. Yang Wu smiled and replied. His soul quickly flew away. He had already cultivated to the heavenly soul stage. Moreover, his soul could wander outside of his body. His soul power was quite strong. It would be difficult for non-divine creatures to injure him. Moreover, this soul was only his clone. It didn't contain all of his soul power. Even if it was destroyed, it would only destroy a part of his soul power. It wouldn't hurt his foundation. As his soul flew, he could only see a vast expanse of white. For the time being, he didn't find anything strange. Just as he was about to return, he suddenly saw a creature running. It was a white mouse. They were gnawing on the light sand here. They were also digging into the ground. That place might be their territory. When Yang Wu appeared in the air above them, they were completely oblivious. I've finally found a way out. Yang Wu was elated. As long as there were living beings, there would be a way out. The White Mouse tribe was a living being in this place. This was their territory, so it was definitely possible for them to lead the way out. These White Mouse tribe living beings were all very large. Their entire bodies were white, and they appeared very smooth and clean. If one didn't look closely, they wouldn't be able to discover their existence. A voice suddenly sounded. Who are you, outsider? Why are you spying on our tribe? This was a very old and sharp voice. It belonged to none other than the elderly White Mouse tribe member. Yang Wu also saw the power of a soul materialize in front of him. It was an old white mouse. Yang Wu cupped his hands in salute. We've been lost in this space. We don't know where we came from. Please tell us. You didn't come here to find the divine mirror? The old white mouse asked in surprise. What divine mirror? Yang Wu was confused. The divine mirror of light. For so many years, countless living beings have come here in search of the divine mirror. In the end, they all died here. The old white mouse said with a hint of sadness. Then it said, Come here. I'll ask a descendant to take you out. Thank you, friend. Yang Wu responded. He was about to return to his physical body when he suddenly discovered that he couldn't sense the existence of his physical body. Yang Wu's expression changed drastically. He said to the old white mouse, I've lost contact with my physical body. Do you have any ideas? This place is filled with light domains. Your soul can't be too far away from your physical body. Otherwise, you'll be isolated by the light domains. You won't be able to sense them. This is going to be troublesome, the old white mouse replied. After a pause, it said, Come to my clan to rest for now. I'll send a descendant to bring your physical body here. Yang Wu didn't expect the old white mouse to be so easy to talk to. He was a little alarmed. All the living beings he had encountered in the divine firmament battlefield were extremely vicious. Suddenly, there was a living being that was so kind and righteous. He was a little at a loss. Right now, he didn't have much time to think. He could only follow the old white mouse's instructions. The old white mouse's wise eyes read Yang Wu's considerations. It muttered to itself, There's nothing in this place except the power of light. The power of light can cleanse and purify the soul. It can lead living beings to do good. As long as their souls are pure, they can live in this space. Yang Wu thought about the old white mouse's words. He felt that there was something else, but he couldn't understand what it was hinting at. Could it be that the power of light could also purify and destroy his soul? If that was the case, he wouldn't have been able to fly here. Yang Wu landed in the white mouse race's territory. The white mice here all ran over curiously, squeaking. They were all speaking the mouse race's language. Yang Wu couldn't understand. Only a small number of high-level mice could speak human language. He could feel that they didn't have any evil intentions from their attitude. They were just very curious. A bold white mouse ran over and handed a supreme-grade light sand to Yang Wu. It seemed to be a gift for Yang Wu. Yang Wu smiled and took it. Are you giving it to me? Squeak, squeak, said the white mouse happily. All right. When my real body arrives, I have something for you too, replied Yang Wu as he took the supreme grade light sand. Very good. It's fated to be with you. Let it find your real body and come here, said the old white mouse. The old white rat said, and then it barked at the white rat a few times. The white rat happily responded, and then quickly ran in a direction. Can it find me by itself? Asked Yang Wu worriedly. Don't worry. This is our territory. There's nothing we can't find, said the old white mouse. Then it added, when your real body arrives, you should leave quickly. This isn't a place for you to stay. Okay, I know what to do, replied Yang Wu. He waited for a long time. He watched the white mouse dig and move some things. Soon, his eyes bulged. He thought to himself, Divine Light Stone. Chapter 14:18. There were many types of God stones. Usually, God stones were formed from pure energy. Any creature could absorb and refine them to strengthen themselves. There were also some special God stones that corresponded to different types of energy. For example, the God Stone of Light was suitable for creatures that cultivated the power of light to absorb and refine. There were also fire, water, and other types of God stones. They were more valuable and rarer than ordinary God stones. The fact that these white mice had dug out God's stones of light surprised him. He suspected that this place was full of God's stone of light mines. He didn't dare to reveal any strange expressions, afraid that the old white mouse would notice and kill him at any time. The old white mouse looked very amiable, but it was definitely a demon god level expert that could astral projection. He might not be a match for it even if his real body was here. Yang Wu discovered that these white mice were digging out God's stones of light as well as some aurora stones. Aurora stones were divine materials that could be used to cultivate light weapons. They were also very valuable. Moreover, he could faintly sense an extremely pure aura from the cave. It should be God's light liquid. It was indeed a divine liquid that could purify and nourish the soul. This is a land of divine treasures, Yang Wu said with certainty. However, these white mice were all in possession of them. They didn't seem to know how precious these treasures were. They were always exposed and didn't care that much. Perhaps they thought that they were the only ones living in this place. It didn't matter even if they were exposed. Screech! Suddenly, an eagle's cry was heard. A light figure quickly swooped down toward the white mice. The white eagles are causing trouble again. Get out of my way. The old white mouse's real body scurried out and swung a shocking claw at the white eagle. This claw could tear the world apart. Its power was extremely shocking. Screech! How long can you guard them? The white eagle screeched and fought fiercely with the old white mouse. At the same time, many other white eagles appeared, scaring the white mice into quickly burrowing into the cave. There were also other powerful white mice that rushed out to fight these white eagles. There really are living creatures in this place, Yang Wu thought to himself. He quickly hid far away, not wanting to get involved in this battle. Eagles and rats were natural enemies, so it was normal for them to fight. The White Eagle clan was still more powerful than the White Rat clan. Although they were fewer in number, they were able to suppress the White Rat clan and snatch some divine light stones and aurora stones from the ground. In addition, another White Eagle noticed Yang Wu and tried to grab Yang Wu. The sharp claws were not inferior to the strength of a heavenly general. I'm not looking for trouble with you, but you're looking for trouble with me. Yang Wu shouted when he saw the White Eagle rushing towards him. His soul body waved his fist and attacked the White Eagle. The soul battle body meant that one's soul could leave their body and fight. Yang Wu's soul was not weak. With a punch, he shattered the White Eagle's claw and sent it flying. Yang Wu didn't let it go. His soul flashed and caught up with the White Eagle. He stomped on it angrily, causing it to fall to the ground and bleed profusely. Dozens of white rats rushed out and scratched the White Eagle until it was covered in wounds, but they didn't take its life. Yang Wu couldn't help but feel strange. These white rats weren't weak, so why didn't they pounce on it and devour it? After the battle ended, Yang Wu understood the reason. These white rats really didn't kill. Their minds had been completely purified by the power of light. Even though many of them had been captured by the white eagles, they couldn't bear to kill the heavily injured white eagles. This was a group of kind-hearted white rats. Yang Wu was puzzled. Why didn't these white eagles have a kind heart that had been purified? Perhaps this was their nature. After the white eagles' attack, the mood of the white mice had become much lower. Some of their companions had become food for the white eagles, and some of the things they dug out had been snatched away by the white eagles. It would be strange if they were in a good mood. Yang Wu couldn't help but ask the old white rat, "You clearly have the strength to defeat those white eagles, so why are you letting them run wild?" The old white rat revealed a sad expression and said, "I can indeed defeat them, but if I defeat them and chase them away in one go, who will take care of them when I die of old age? They need a sense of danger and need to constantly grow. They need a new rat king to take my place." Yang Wu understood the old white rat's thoughts. It was old and might not be able to live for much longer, but these white rats still didn't have a rat king that could protect them. Yang Wu couldn't comment on the matters of these tribes. When his true body came, he would leave this place. That white rat really did find his true body, and the Empress. Yang Wu's true body couldn't sense what was happening to his soul avatar. When the white rat appeared, they didn't hesitate to capture it. "GG." The white mouse squealed nervously. Its eyes were filled with fear, especially when it saw Mao Fei. It was so scared that it almost fainted. Rats were afraid of cats. This was their nature, even more so than the Eagle clan. There are living creatures here, so there must be a way out. Let it lead us out. Yang Wu said. Leave it to little Fei. She has a way to have it lead the way. The Empress followed up. Mao Fei called out to the white rat a few times, scaring it half to death. She then called out to Yang Wu again. Mao Fei said to Yang Wu, "It said it came to find you." Yang Wu was stunned. He pointed at his face and said, "It came to find me?" The white rat cried out even louder and became even more excited. Mao Fei then said, "It said it did. Their clan leader told it to come find you and said he saw you before." Could it be that my soul was captured by the rat clan? Yang Wu guessed. He then said, "Let it lead the way." The white rat was lucky enough to escape, and it quickly fled towards the ground. Fortunately, Mao Fei was there. She caught it in time and threatened it that if it didn't lead the way, she would eat it. It finally obediently led the way. Yang Wu and the Empress followed the white rat and walked around. They felt as if they were traveling through space. They felt that it was strange and they couldn't figure out the key point. This place was too strange. After an unknown amount of time, they finally arrived at the rat clan's territory. Yang Wu felt the existence of the soul and couldn't wait to merge with it. He immediately knew what happened to the soul. Meow meow. Mao Fei excitedly called out after seeing the white rat group. The white rat here was so scared that it shrank back again. "Little Fei Fei, don't be noisy. They will take us out of here," Yang Wu said to Mao Fei. Only then did Mao Fei become obedient. Yang Wu stepped forward and said to the white rat, "I'll have to trouble you to send us out." The white rat stared at Yang Wu for a while before saying, "Okay, I'll let the child take you out." At this time, the Empress shouted, "Divine Light Stone, Aurora Stone, and Divine Light Liquid. Little Wu, quickly go and take a look. This is a divine treasury." Yang Wu replied, "Don't call out blindly. This is the White Rat Clan. It has nothing to do with us." The Empress reluctantly said, "Little Wu, this isn't your style. Aren't you in the Triple Light operation?" "You're the one in the Triple Light operation." Yang Wu rolled his eyes. "Hee, I won't say any more." The Empress playfully smiled. After staying with Yang Wu for so long, the Empress understood Yang Wu's personality too well. Once he found something good, as long as he could get his hands on it, he wouldn't let it go. Basically, he wouldn't leave anything behind. Yang Wu bitterly smiled. He didn't want to be entangled and prepared to leave. He did love money, but a gentleman's love for money was justified. This was a place guarded by the White Rat clan. Moreover, they were so kind that he couldn't bear to take away their things. Moreover, they were taking them out of here, so he couldn't bite the hand that fed him. Just as they were about to leave, the White Eagle clan came again. Yo, as expected, there are foreign races. You guys really have guts to harbor these foreigners. A mighty white eagle angrily shouted. There are many races that have mistakenly entered this place. It's none of your business. Hurry up and scram. The old white rat angrily roared. How is it none of our business? They are our food. The white eagle replied and swooped down towards Yang Wu and the Empress. Its sharp beak was like a blade, and its powerful claws were even more frightening. If one was caught, they would die without a doubt. This was a god-level creature. The old white rat rushed up and blocked for Yang Wu's group. The old white rat was very strong. It wasn't any weaker than the white eagle. In fact, it was even stronger. The white eagle seemed to have come prepared this time. A few more white eagles flew out, and their strength wasn't any weaker than the white eagle from before. A few white eagles fought the old white rat at the same time. The situation took a turn for the worse. Many of the white rats below screamed. A few more white rats rushed into the sky and joined the battle. The white rats that joined later weren't god level yet, so they would die if they joined. However, they still wanted to fight. In the end, blood would be shed in front of them. Other white rats rushed up. They united and formed a rat tide. They also wanted to fight to the death with the white eagles. More and more white eagles flew over. It was as if they were determined to fight the white rat. You guys go back. You guys go back. I will defeat them. The old white rat kept roaring. At this time, there were many wounds on its body. Its fur was stained with blood. It was heavily injured. The white rats didn't listen to it. They continued to attack. Rays of white light flashed as they waved their claws. Sharp screeches pierced the hearts of the white rats. Yo, no matter how you struggle, you will become food for my race today along with these foreign races. The white eagle shouted proudly. Countless eagle feathers, which were as sharp as blades, shot toward those white mice. One after another, the white mice fell from the sky and died an unnatural death. We want to help the white rats. Yang Wu wiped away his anger and shouted. Whatever you want to do, I will support you. The princess said affirmatively. Okay, then let's kill them. Yang Wu shouted. He rushed into the sky and stabbed the white eagle with the Luo water spear. You birds and beasts, kill them all. Chapter 14:19. The moment Yang Wu attacked, the white eagles charged towards them. These white eagles varied in strength. How could ordinary white eagles be a match for Yang Wu? The water Luo spear instantly killed a few white eagles. A single thought is good, and a single thought is evil. The white mouse race has already given in many times, but you guys are still going from bad to worse. Wait for me to kill you all. Yang Wu roared. After he killed a few white eagles, a deity white eagle rushed over, its wings like blades slashing towards Yang Wu. Yang Wu's spear light was shattered by the power of the wings. It was clear how tough the wings were. Humans are nothing but our food. The white eagle shouted proudly, its sharp claws grabbing towards Yang Wu's head. Its sharp claws were extremely sharp, and a slight touch could take away a person's life. Yang Wu dodged, and the nether wing ice wing blade slashed out, slashing towards its abdomen. Oh! The white eagle was hit, bleeding from its abdomen as it screamed. Yang Wu seized the opportunity and moved like a fish. His spear turned into a rainbow and stabbed towards the wound. Pfft! The tricky spear light pierced through the white eagle's abdomen, killing it on the spot. At the same time, another 3 white eagles surrounded Yang Wu. Their strength had reached the deity realm, and they attacked together. The sky full of feathers kept strangling Yang Wu, leaving him nowhere to hide. He could only fight to the end. Fortunately, Yang Wu's strength had entered the level 6 astral rune realm, and his combat strength was much stronger. His body was covered in Emperor Jade battle armor, and his battle spear kept sweeping, breaking through the feathers and fighting fiercely with the 3 white eagles. The water luo spear was only a top-grade battle spear, and it was broken by the white eagles in the fierce battle. Yang Wu simply fought with the white eagles barehanded. His body kept growing, breaking through the limit and becoming a 200-foot-tall giant. He grabbed a white eagle with one hand and tore it in half. "You feathered beasts deserve to die," Yang Wu roared. His back was clawed by the other 2 white eagles, and his Emperor Jade battle armor was torn open, revealing several terrifying wounds. Yang Wu ignored the pain on his body and turned around to throw out a few punches. One punch could break the universe, and one punch could split the sky. He had killed the 2 white eagles, but his chest had been scratched open. His heart had almost been ripped out. If it wasn't for Lan Aoji, he would have died. These god-ranked white eagles weren't easy to deal with. Just as Yang Wu thought that the battle was about to end, more white eagles suddenly charged over. They were getting stronger and stronger. The white rats were hunted down, and even the princess was in danger of being captured. "Yo, eat them all!" the leading white eagle yelled out. "Ah, all of you deserve to die!" Yang Wu roared, and the Big Dipper sword finally appeared in his hand. Then, he slashed out with the star-swallowing sword Dao. Whoosh whoosh. In an instant, countless sword chi swept through the area. The sword chi kept on piercing the white eagles' bodies. Some white eagles passed through the sword chi and came to his side. Their blade-like wings slashed his body, and some white eagles pecked off large chunks of his flesh. These white eagles crazily surrounded him, as if they couldn't kill them all. Yang Wu saw the princess being swallowed by a white eagle with his own eyes. He was completely crazy. "You feathered beasts, I'm going to wipe out your entire race!" Yang Wu screamed hysterically. He activated the power of his immortal foundation, and the power of his sword technique increased greatly. He killed one white eagle after another. After his immortal foundation's power was activated, the Big Dipper sword became very different. It was as if it was given a special power, and its killing power was insanely powerful. Poof poof. The white eagles that filled the sky were all killed. Yang Wu also used up all of his energy and fell heavily to the ground. His body was covered in wounds. The white rats were almost all dead. Only the old white rat was still alive. It came in front of Yang Wu and asked, "Do you regret helping us now?" Yang Wu felt that he was about to die. He grinned and said, "Time can turn back. I will also help you kill all of those feathered beasts." After saying this, he fainted. When he woke up, he was standing in front of a broken mirror. He could see countless reflections of himself in the mirror. He was stunned and muttered to himself, Where is this? Great Emperor Jinwu, you're finally here." An extremely weak voice rang out. Yang Wu hurriedly looked around, but he didn't find any living creatures. There was only a broken mirror in front of him that was emitting strands of light, as if it was speaking. He asked, "Are you talking?" "It is me. Back then, I was protecting the divine light race, and was shattered by an immortal. I was lucky enough to see the great Emperor return. I have no regrets," Pujing replied. "What happened in that battle back then?" Yang Wu asked curiously. "Great Emperor, please take a look." Pujing nodded. Then, a series of scenes appeared in this world. Terrifying immortal light floated in the air, and an astonishing immortal sword descended from the sky, slashing apart mountains and rivers. Countless creatures were annihilated under the power of the immortal sword. A mirror rushed into the sky and shone on the ground. It blocked the terrifying immortal sword light and saved many living beings. However, the immortal sword was of a higher level. It continuously slashed down and shattered the mirror. This mirror was also extraordinary. Before it shattered, a piece of mirror shot towards the immortal and injured him. Immortal blood flowed out. "A mirror can hurt this immortal. How dare you?" the immortal shouted angrily. He completely destroyed the broken mirror and suppressed it in the divine firmament battlefield. Yang Wu only felt his heart tremble. He returned to the broken mirror again. He was sure that this broken mirror was the one that blocked the immortal sword. He couldn't help but feel sad. He gently touched the broken mirror. The corner of the mirror cut his finger. Yang Wu took a deep breath and pulled his finger back. When his blood fell on the broken mirror, the mirror began to change. It cracked piece by piece and a voice said, "I hope the great emperor can rebuild the immortal mirror." These pieces of mirror flew towards him. He unconsciously opened his Qian Kuan space and put them all away. When the mirror entered Yang Wu's Qian Kuan space, the white light here weakened by more than half. Pieces of space suddenly disappeared. It turned out that the illusion here had all disappeared. He looked at all of this in a daze and muttered, "Is this all an illusion? Little Wu, where are you? Don't scare me." The Empress's voice called out from not far away. Yang Wu replied, "Little Jingjing, I'm here." The Empress rode Cat Fei and quickly flew over. She put her hands on her waist and said, "Little Wu, why did you suddenly run away? Don't you know how worried I was? What if you were eaten by other living beings?" Yang Wu smiled apologetically and said, "I'm sorry, little Jingjing. It's all my fault. You were also looking for a way out. I don't blame you. The white light here seems to have disappeared a lot. I don't know what happened. I can sense the willpower of the outside world. And I can feel it too. We can go out. What's the rush? We just came in not long ago. There are so many light stones and light sand in this place. There must be a lot of mines. I think we can dig for them." Sure enough, when the two of them dug deep, they really found the divine stone of light and the aurora stone. They spent a few days collecting all of this harvest. They even found some divine light liquid, so they naturally wouldn't let it go. After they collected these divine objects, they continued to wander around for a few more days. They found some divine flowers with the power of light that were guarded by powerful living beings. They split up. One of them went to lure away the guardian living beings, and the other went to seize the divine objects. They both had the void travel technique, so it wasn't too difficult to escape the pursuit of these living beings. Yang Wu became the bait to lure these living beings away, and the Empress went to collect the divine flowers. The two of them worked together and gained a lot. When they were returning home, the Empress asked Yang Wu, "Little Wu, why do you trust me so much?" "What?" Yang Wu didn't understand. The Empress looked at Yang Wu seriously and asked, "Every time I ask you to be the bait, you don't refuse. Aren't you afraid that I'll take those divine flowers and herbs for myself?" Yang Wu smiled and said, "So that's what you're talking about. How can a sister be greedy for her brother's things? Even if she is, so be it. It's no big deal." The Empress gritted her teeth and said, "What sister and brother? Do you believe that I won't beat you up? Little girl, don't be so violent. Be careful that you won't be able to get married when you grow up." I won't be able to get married. If I really can't get married, I'll stick to you." "Don't, I'm not interested in little girls. Little Wu." As the two of them talked, they left the space of light. They didn't notice that there was an old white mouse watching them from afar in the white light. "Is it really the arch?" The old white rat muttered and disappeared in the white light. Yang Wu and the Empress continued to lead the crow race forward. They arrived at an ancient battlefield. It was said that this was the center of the divine firmament battlefield. There were many spatial turbulences in this battlefield, and void cracks appeared from time to time. It was very dangerous. The slightest carelessness could lead to one's death. Human beings, outsiders, and demons were looking for opportunities in this battlefield. There were also conflicts from time to time. After arriving here, they weren't far from the void ancient city, and they weren't far from the demon city. Yang Wu didn't stay here for too long. Even though he vaguely felt that this battlefield was different, he didn't want to waste any more time. Now, he couldn't wait to return to the transcendent world. Just as he was about to avoid this battlefield, the Empress suddenly shouted, "Little Wu, let's go quickly. Yang Wu didn't know why the Empress was so agitated. Just as he was about to take her away, a power descended in front of them. The figure of an old woman appeared. "Little princess, you can't be so stubborn anymore. If I don't take you back, I'll be executed." Chapter 1420. Yang Wu had always known that the princess had an extraordinary background. He also knew that she would leave one day, but he didn't expect this day to come so suddenly. The princess also didn't expect this. Looking at the old woman in front of her, her mood became completely bad. "Granny, give me a little more time, okay? I will definitely go back with you." The princess came to the old woman and acted coquettishly. "Little princess, I have already given you a long time. The higher-ups have already said that if I don't bring you back, this old servant will definitely die. This is no joke. Could it be that little princess has the heart to watch this old servant die? This old servant is loyal to you and has never been disloyal." The old woman begged. She spoke with incomparable emotion, and the bystanders who heard it felt sad. "Granny, I know this is difficult for you. With me here, they won't dare to do anything to you. Just give me 1 more year, okay? I will definitely go back with you in 1 year." The princess shook the old woman's arm and said, "Then this old servant will go die. But before I die, I still have to send you back. I can't let anything happen to you. Otherwise, I will not hesitate to die 10,000 times." "How is it so strict? They are just talking nonsense. I hate it the most when they act like they are doing it for my own good. Granny, hold on a little longer. Don't give me 1 year, give me half a year. I will definitely go back with you in half a year. Little princess, back then, you told me that 1 or 2 years would be enough. Now, it has been 17 or 18 years. If you don't go back, I will really be cut into 8 pieces." After a round of tearing, the princess still couldn't convince the old woman. The old woman only gave her half a day to say goodbye to Yang Wu. Then, she had to leave with her. The princess returned to Yang Wu's side. Her sparkling eyes were a little red. Yang Wu gently stroked her head and smiled. "If you want to cry, then cry. I know you can't bear to part with me, but it's okay. This separation is for the sake of a good reunion next time, isn't it?" The old woman in the distance looked at Yang Wu's actions with a hint of surprise in her eyes. When did someone dare to touch their little princess's head? "Aren't you afraid of losing your head?" What shocked her the most was that their little princess did not avoid that young man's caress. If she were to really send this news back to the God realm, who knew what kind of perilous waves it would set off? "What are you crying for? I'm not a brat. I'm just sad that I couldn't go to the human realm to take a look." The Empress slapped away Yang Wu's hand. "There will be more opportunities in the future. Go back quickly. Don't let your family worry," Yang Wu said with a smile. He paused for a moment and sighed with emotion. "I miss my family too. I can't wait to go back and see them. These few years with you have been quite interesting. If I go to the God realm in the future, I will definitely look for you and travel the world with you. You said it yourself. If you don't come looking for me when we reach the divine world, I'll definitely teach you a lesson." "Don't worry if I can really go to the God realm." "What do you mean if? You can definitely go. If a scourge like you can't reach the God realm, then what's the point of the God realm?" "Haha, you're the biggest scourge, alright? Little Wu, you're really an annoying guy." The Empress Du Shaojing still followed the old woman and left. She looked back 3 times with every step. Her little face was filled with reluctance. Mao Fei, who was with her, could sense her mood and couldn't help but let out a soft meow meow sound. Yang Wu cupped his hands towards her and said seriously, "Little Jingjing, we'll meet again someday." The Empress smiled. Her figure suddenly changed. She was actually slowly growing. The red clothes on her body were finally propped up. One could vaguely see an absolutely beautiful figure. The old woman's expression changed greatly. She shouted, "Little princess, you can't. Let's go." Finished speaking, a power descended. Including the Empress and Mao Fei, They were teleported away from this world. Little Wu, I'll wait for you. The Empress's bandit-like voice reverberated unceasingly. Yang Wu came back to his senses and muttered, "Was that little Jingjing's original appearance just now? Her appearance is not bad, but it's still a bit flat. Otherwise, she would be even more perfect." "Little Wu, you're courting death." The Empress's voice unexpectedly resounded next to Yang Wu's ear again. A power broke through the air and came over. Yang Wu was startled and hurriedly dodged. He turned around and looked. Surprisingly, it was the hair that the Empress always wore. It was coming back to him. Yang Wu stretched out his hand and caught it in his hand. It was as if he could see the Empress's lowly face. He smiled and then lifted up the hair. However, his heart was empty. "Sigh, it's time to go back." Yang Wu rubbed his face and said energetically. Without waiting for him to leave with the crow race, another power descended. It was actually the old woman who just took the Empress away. She looked at Yang Wu and made him feel goosebumps all over his body. "Don't tell me you want to learn from those evil slaves of the big powers and beat me to death to give up on your family's princess?" Yang Wu looked at the old woman and guessed. "Hee, you really know how to think. Originally, I wanted to do that. However, for the sake of the little princess, I gave up on this idea. I don't want to see the only friend who can make the little princess happy die an unnatural death. On the contrary, I will give you an opportunity. Tell me, what do you want? If it's below a true divine object, you can ask for it. I will try my best to satisfy your request." The old woman said with a benevolent smile. So generous?" Yang Wu was stunned for a moment and said with a suspicious gaze, "Why don't you believe in my ability?" The old woman asked in return. She waved her hand in the air and a divine weapon suddenly appeared in her hand. It was a divine whip. She waved it a few times and a few terrifying cracks appeared in the space. She said, "The spirit-splitting whip can shatter the void. Its power is not bad. How is it? Do you like it?" Without waiting for Yang Wu to reply, she casually threw the divine weapon away and grabbed another divine sword. She said, "This is the Blue Moon Sword. It's not inferior to the spirit-splitting whip. It can also unleash the sword chi of the Blue Moon. Its killing power is even more extraordinary." Immediately after, she threw it away and grabbed another item. She said, "This is the 7 transformations God slaughtering art. It's a top-notch divine art. It can help you cultivate to a higher realm. Are you tempted?" Yang Wu looked at the old woman taking out one extraordinary divine object after another. His eyes were wide open. He really wanted to say loudly, "I like it. I want all of them." However, the words that were about to come out of his mouth seemed to be stuck. No matter what, he couldn't say it. He was afraid that if he said it, he would really break off his relationship with the princess. "As long as you give me that hairpiece, you can choose any divine object. It's fine even if you want to pick 2 or 3. The old woman still revealed her goal. It was the princess hairpiece. Yang Wu raised the hairpiece in his hand and smiled. "You want it?" "Yes, that's right. As long as you give it to me, we can discuss anything," the old woman said impatiently. "This is a gift from little Jingjing. No matter how many divine objects you give me, I won't exchange it. Alright, there's nothing else. Granny, you can leave." Yang Wu held the hairpiece in his hand and said with certainty. Yang Wu also cared a lot about the divine objects in front of the old woman. However, he wasn't willing to exchange them for the hairpiece. "Brat, don't be ungrateful. The value of the little princess hairpiece is far less than these divine objects. I'll give you 3 at the same time and you'll be fine. Don't be too greedy." "Hee, even if it's a real divine object, I don't care. Don't waste your breath." "If that's the case, then you can die on this battlefield." The old woman's expression froze. Then she waved her hand behind her and said, "Kill him." As she waved her hand, many powerful creatures of the alien race and the demon race suddenly appeared behind the battlefield. Their strength had reached the deity realm. There were also experts who had reached the emissary realm. These were all experts on the battlefield. For some reason, they obeyed the old woman's orders. Hee hee brat, I'll take the divine object you don't want. A alien race expert laughed coldly. He turned into a long rainbow and charged toward Yang Wu. This alien race expert was so fast that he was in front of Yang Wu in the blink of an eye. A three-pronged weapon stabbed toward Yang Wu's abdomen. You're about to leave. Can't you rest in peace? Yang Wu roared. The netherworld ice-winged blade shot out from nowhere. The alien race expert was too fast. He collided with the netherworld ice-winged blade, and his head was instantly cleaved in half. Pooh! This deity realm alien race expert died a violent death. The other deities felt a chill run down their spines. However, they didn't stop. They all exploded with power and surrounded Yang Wu. A terrifying deity realm power enveloped the world, completely sealing off all of Yang Wu's escape route. The crows in the distance screamed. They wanted to rush over to help, but how could they make it in time? Wuguna shrieked, "Caw, caw. Master is about to die." The old woman laughed. What kind of status does the little princess have? How could she have anything to do with a wild cultivator like you? You'd be better off dead. Do you really think you've got me? Then all of you can go die. A pot shield appeared in Yang Wu's hand. A terrifying crushing power was generated. The creatures that were further away were bounced back. The creatures that were closer to him were crushed by the tremendous pressure. Their god bodies exploded in just a blink. I don't know why you people of the deity realm feel superior, but my relationship with little Jing Jing isn't something you can determine. Mere alien race experts want to do anything to me? You're underestimating me. Yang Wu's eyes were filled with killing intent. After saying that, the Big Dipper sword appeared in his hand. He furiously slashed at the deities trapped in the pot shield. Sword chi tens of thousands of feet long continuously slashed out. The deities who couldn't resist had their heads sent flying. Even they couldn't believe that they were so easily killed. They wanted to use their divine power to recover, but the sword chi swept out again, aiming for their heads. Don't kill me. I don't want the divine item anymore. I don't want to be your enemy. I was forced. Please let me go. What kind of power is this? I can't break free. I can't accept this. I can't accept this. Even if I die, I'll drag you down with me. Chapter 14:21. Yang Wu's massacre quickly came to an end. One god-level expert after another was slaughtered by Yang Qi, and the old woman watched calmly from the side. Occasionally, a gleam of admiration flickered in her eyes. You have good eyes, princess. If he can get to the god world, he'll definitely be able to cause some trouble. Unfortunately, he's just a kid from the mortal world. He has no background, so it's impossible for a toad to eat swan meat. The old woman didn't stay any longer. She quietly disappeared from this world. When Yang Wu finished off his last opponent, he discovered that the old woman had disappeared. The corpses of the god-level creatures around him had also completely disappeared. Could it be another illusion? Yang Wu asked himself. He thought back to what had just happened. He was certain that it wasn't an illusion. Perhaps the old woman had used some heaven-defying method to move the corpses, or perhaps it was because of the special nature of this battlefield. He felt that this battlefield made his hair stand on end. Let's go. Yang Wu activated his great circulatory cycle. He called out to the Crow clan, then headed in the direction of the demon realm. He had basically walked around this place. He had also entered the four great forbidden land. He didn't want to waste any more time. As for whether or not Great Emperor Zhen Wu's Thunder Division was in the lightning space, he didn't care at all. He didn't feel that he had anything to do with Great Emperor Zhen Wu. Even if he did, so what? He was Yang Wu. No one could control his fate. He wanted to defy the heavens and change his fate. He wanted to create his own legend. On his way to Demon City, he passed by the void ancient city. He looked at it from afar and muttered, "If I have the chance to come back in the future, I'll definitely find out the secret of this place." Yang Wu increased his speed and returned to the ruins near Demon City. The ruins didn't seem to have changed at all. He couldn't see the stone steel below, and there was no trace of the young martial god. In the past, many demons would wander around here. Now, however, this place had become a forbidden area in Demon City. No demons dared to approach this place. When tens of thousands of crows arrived, they still alarmed the demon race living beings in this area. Some of the demons cried out in alarm, warning the crow tribe not to let them come any closer. There were even some demons who wanted to rush out and deal with the crow tribe. However, when they saw Yang Wu, they stopped and shouted, "Don't go out! It's the human who destroyed our city." One man against one city. How many people could accomplish such a feat? Yang Wu had slaughtered the demon race's deity-level life forms and even forced the demon race's emissary to flee. This had long frightened the demon race's life forms. A demon race being shouted indignantly, "What kind of human dares to be so arrogant?" Yang Wu's hearing was astonishing. He heard the words of this devil and shouted, "This young master is here. Do you devils dare to come out and fight?" With that, an ancient bow appeared in his hand. He knocked an arrow and shot it at the devil race. Whoosh! A beam of light containing terrifying power streaked across like a meteor. The demon that had just spoken didn't even have the chance to react before it was nailed between its eyebrows. Its body fell back and smashed into the city wall. It couldn't be more dead, but it died with its eyes wide open. He had just casually said something. How did he get himself killed? Was this the legendary saying, "Trouble comes from careless talk"? Hurry! Hurry back to the city. The demon race being in the lead panicked. He shouted and ran back to the city first. Only then did the other demons react. They hurriedly turned around and ran back to the city, afraid that they would follow in the footsteps of their comrade. Wuguna flattered, "Master is mighty." The other crows also cried out, "Master is mighty. Stop flattering me. Come with me." Yang Wu laughed and brought them to the ruins. Yang Wu arrived at the ruins and shouted, "Ancestor, come out. I, Yang Wu, have returned." His voice echoed in this place. The ruins didn't respond for a long time, making him feel very awkward. "Come out for me," Yang Wu shouted again. He stabbed the Luo water spear into the ground. Bang! This time there was finally a response. The ruins began to crack and a stone tablet gradually appeared. Yang Wu once again looked at the stone tablet and discovered that it had experienced the vicissitudes of life and emitted an ancient aura. Furthermore, there was actually a single word carved on the stone tablet. It was the word martial. This word was ancient. Each stroke was filled with power. It was as if a peerless expert had used a weapon to carve it. Yang Wu looked at this martial character and was deeply immersed in it. He always felt a familiar feeling in his heart. He seemed to be able to see this martial character moving. He couldn't help but open his soul eye and saw the young martial god walking out. "Spar with me," the young martial god said and attacked Yang Wu. The young martial god was like a black tortoise descending. The powerful black tortoise tyrannical fist came crashing down on Yang Wu. There was no power in it. There was only a thick black tortoise Dao and a powerful fist intent. Yang Wu didn't use any power. He met this punch with the same black tortoise tyrannical fist. Bang! After the two fists collided, Yang Wu was sent flying by the punch. "You're so weak," the young martial god said disdainfully to Yang Wu. Again, Yang Wu was filled with fighting spirit. He shouted and met the young martial god's attack with another attack. He could defeat the young martial god in the God of War pagoda. He could do the same now. Yang Wu's physical body was already very strong. He had broken through to the great perfection sacred body and was comparable to a divine body. The power of his punch was incomparably majestic. Even if he didn't use Xian Qi, he could still kill an ordinary divine realm living being. The young martial god's lips curled into a faint smile as he fought with Yang Wu. The two young martial gods fought with all their strength. Punch after punch, they fought faster and faster. It was overwhelming. Yang Wu was still at a disadvantage. He was continuously forced back. His arms were numb. Use your full strength. Otherwise, you're not my match, the young martial god said. Thus, Yang Wu became a 200-foot-tall giant and fought with the young martial god again. The two of them fought even more fiercely. The sound of fists exploding in the sky was no weaker than the sound caused by using Xian Qi. Yang Wu finally recovered from his disadvantage, and was able to suppress the young martial god. He realized that the young martial god's understanding of the martial Tao had reached a deeper level. Every punch contained the truth, causing him to be unable to achieve anything. When the young martial god was forced back by Yang Wu again, the young martial god stopped attacking. I've gained a lot from this trip. You pass, the young martial god said. He didn't completely unleash his willpower. Otherwise, Yang Wu wouldn't be his match. He only suppressed his cultivation level to the peak of the Sage Realm to compete with Yang Wu. Yang Wu was only at the 6th level of the Star Rune Realm. He was already at an advantage when he was at the peak of the Sage Realm. For Yang Wu to be able to force him back, it was enough to show that Yang Wu's improvement was extraordinary. Can I go back now? Yang Wu asked. There's no rush. There's still one more thing to do, the young martial god said. Yang Wu anxiously said, I've gathered 1,000,000 god stones and I've been to all the dangerous places. Now you're telling me there's still something to do? Are you messing with me? He had been waiting for this day for a long time. It had been about 4 years since he moved here from the Purple Firmament Hall. If he didn't go back soon, his family would go crazy. Haha, so what if I'm messing with you? Are you going to bite me? The young martial god laughed. Yang Wu was instantly speechless. He really couldn't do anything to the other party. He could only obediently beg, stop messing around. I'm really anxious to go back. I'm not messing around with you. Comprehend the word martial and you can leave. The young martial god pointed at the word martial on the stone tablet and said, You said it yourself. Don't play with me anymore. Yang Wu said, Naturally, I won't. My mission ends here, the young martial god replied. Thus, Yang Wu didn't waste any more words with the young martial god. He began to look at the martial intent. His soul eye impatiently opened, hoping to gain something as soon as possible. The young martial god smiled, and his figure disappeared into the stone tablet. Yang Wu stared at the stone tablet. For 3 whole days, he was unable to comprehend anything from the word martial. I can't see the divine chain, nor can I discover any realm. Why is it like this? Yang Wu asked in his heart. He became more and more impatient. He wished he could immediately comprehend the mysteries of the word martial, but he didn't gain anything. Yang Wu couldn't help but roar, Come out! Are you messing with me? The young martial god didn't appear, so it didn't matter what he called out. Yang Wu powerlessly sat down, feeling a trace of despair. This feeling of having his fate in the hands of another was too unbearable. There will be a day when I will control my own fate. Yang Wu roared in his heart. At this time, Wu Guna rushed over and said to Yang Wu, Master, this word feels like yours. What do you mean? I feel like a word. Are you asking for a beating? Yang Wu retorted. No, Master, listen to me. I'm saying that this word feels like yours. How should I put it? It feels like nothing can stop you. You can defeat your opponent. Are you saying that I'm invincible? Yes, yes. It means invincible. Invincible, invincible. Yang Wu muttered. He looked at the word martial, and a smile appeared on his face. Thank you, Wu Guna. I know what this word means. In the next moment, Yang Wu's will burst forth, and his spiritual power poured into the word martial. Then, the word martial came to life again. Yang Wu felt an invincible will sweep over him. The word martial moved horizontally and vertically, as if a peerless expert was moving. He gradually immersed himself in it and roared, "There is no second in martial. I am invincible." Martial represented the martial Tao, and it also represented Yang Wu's fate. As long as he had an invincible will, he would become more courageous as he fought, and he would be invincible. He would not fear any enemy, and he would have the power to crush everything. Everything he had experienced during this time flashed through his mind. The Wind Spirit Clan, the Dark Moon Clan, the White Mouse Clan, the White Eagle Clan. Even that old woman. The fear he had once felt was all shattered under his fist. Chapter 1422. The word martial only represented martial intent. It didn't contain any martial skills, nor did it have any special secret technique. It was the purest form of martial intent. It could establish an invincible belief, maintain one's self, and crush all enemies. Ever since Yang Wu had comprehended this invincible will in the God of War pagoda, he had advanced triumphantly and defeated many experts. He had been arrogant and conceited, but when he encountered powerful enemies, he felt a deep sense of powerlessness. Especially after coming to this space and encountering the true martial great emperor, he always had doubts. Is he still him? He wanted to get rid of this problem, but he couldn't do it. Although this thought didn't have any negative effects, as he grew stronger, his obsession would become deeper. When he broke through to a higher realm, it would inevitably affect him. It might even cause him to go berserk, making it difficult for his strength to advance. At this moment, he understood the invincible belief of martial Tao. When he returned to the pure state of martial intent, he had absolute confidence. No other distracting thoughts could shake his confidence, and he no longer doubted himself. He was him, the one and only Yang Wu. "Break for me!" Yang Wu roared. Facing the young martial god who had suddenly appeared, he angrily punched out. This punch didn't contain any profound chi, only endless fist intent. It was as if he had transformed into a martial god, able to crush all enemies. The young martial god also punched out. Similarly, it was an incomparably pure fist intent. The two of them collided, and the void was shattered. Bang! The stone tablet was smashed to pieces. The void runes emitted waves of ripples, and countless lines appeared. This was the void array. With it, one could teleport through the void. The young martial god smiled at Yang Wu and said, "Congratulations on comprehending your own martial intent. You can leave now." "Really?" Yang Wu said in surprise. Then he pointed at the crows and said, "Can I take them with me?" "They are willing to leave with you." "Of course you can," the young martial god replied. "Then," he added, "place the 1,000,000 high-grade divine stones into the card slot, and you can leave. I want to ask, is this really the Transcendence realm that I came from?" Just as Yang Wujing was about to take out the divine stone, he voiced his concerns. "Haha, it seems like you're still clear-headed. You'll naturally return to where you came from. Originally, you came here through this formation." The young martial god laughed loudly. "This is where I came from?" Yang Wu was dumbfounded. The Great Void Formation connected to the Purple Cloud Palace's Peerless Great Formation was here? There's no need to ask. There are some things that you will naturally understand in the future. Hurry up and put the Godstone in. Otherwise, the formation will disappear and I won't be able to maintain it for long, urged the young martial god. Yang Wu had no choice but to call the crow race over. Then, he threw a few holy veins into the card slot. As the divine vein fell into the slot, the void great array spun rapidly. "Master, I'm scared." Wuguna was so frightened that he spread his wings and hugged Yang Wu. Yang Wu held him down and said, "Why are you so nervous? Just close your eyes and you'll be in my territory." After he finished speaking, the void great array finally began to teleport. Beams of divine light floated and teleported Yang Wu and the crow race. The Transcendence Realm's Forbidden Ground, Dragon Gate Grotto. Dragon Gate Grotto was a stone forest. Many stone forests formed the shape of dragons. Countless years ago, this was a land of dragon veins. Many dragon life forms gathered there. They were extremely powerful and had extraordinary combat strength. Later, after the dragon veins were extracted, it formed a grotto, making this place a forbidden ground. Countless murderous dragon auras swept through this place. It was a place that non-dragon life forms found difficult to approach. Such forbidden lands were only targeted at ordinary life forms. When one's strength reached a certain level, some forbidden lands were nothing in the eyes of others. Recently, Dragon Gate Grotto had become extremely lively. It was unknown who spread the news that Dragon Gate Grotto had a peerless heritage. Whoever obtained the heritage could become a heaven ascension expert. They might even have a chance of breaking through the shackles of the Heaven Ascension realm and reaching an even higher realm. Usually, not many people believed such news. They felt that it was a rumor created by someone else, but after a divine treasure map leaked out, it immediately caused a bloodbath. This divine treasure map was made from a top-grade holy skin. Furthermore, it was ancient and clearly outlined some of the paths in Dragon Gate Grotto. Unfortunately, this holy skin had been split into 3 and had leaked out, attracting the attention of all the factions in the transcendental world. In addition, someone confirmed that 3 of the Battle Race's family clans had long entered Dragon Gate Grotto. When this news was confirmed, Dragon Gate Grotto became completely popular. Ancient war chariots flew over. Many people from various factions gathered at Dragon Gate Grotto. These people were at least at the astral pattern realm. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to withstand the assault of the baneful dragon aura. Dragon Gate Grotto was very large, so it wasn't easy to determine the location of the divine treasure. Thankfully, the divine treasure map had been combined and sold through special channels. It allowed these factions to lock onto the general area, and that area happened to be where the Xing, Lu, and Li families were gathered. At that moment, the 3 clans were working together to kill a group of people who had instigated this matter. Jiang Ping, you won't be able to escape. Hurry up and surrender. You are destined to have a bad ending by mingling with the Yang family. Jiang Ping, you bastard. How dare you spoil our plans and spread the news to the world? Do you know your crime? Yang Ba, Su Chu, do you bastards really think you are invincible? How dare you provoke our Xing family? Death is the only outcome. Without Yang Wu, you still dare to cause trouble. You really don't know what's good for you. The powerful saints of the Xing, Lu, and Li families were chasing after another saint. They were none other than Jiang Ping, Yang Ba, and Su Chu. How did they mingle together? It was a long story. A few years ago, after Yang Wu had disappeared from the Purple Firmament Palace, Xiang Dingtian had escorted them out safely. Jiang Ping had temporarily stayed in the Yang family city and claimed that he was Yang Wu's senior brother and the top disciple of the Heaven Palace. He had shamelessly stayed behind. Yang Ba and Su Chu were naturally angered by Jiang Ping's words. They felt that Jiang Ping was tarnishing Yang Wu's reputation. Therefore, the 2 of them were prepared to chase Jiang Ping away. In the end, they were no match for Jiang Ping, which made them very embarrassed. They claimed to be Yang Wu's right-hand men. Now that Yang Wu's fate was unknown, and even Jiang Ping could not do anything to him, how could they go to the Purple Firmament Palace to open the Divine Firmament Forbidden Land and find Yang Wu in the future? Therefore, the 2 of them repeatedly challenged Jiang Ping. They wanted to grow under pressure. The 2 of them had the resources that Yang Wu had left for them. They did not hesitate to refine the immortal elixir and rapidly increased their strength. Yang Ba and Su Chu had both reached the 6th level of the astral pattern realm. They were only slightly weaker than Jiang Ping, who was at the 7th level. Jiang Ping was able to maintain such an efficient cultivation speed because he had the 1 Qi into 3 Pure One's secret technique. He could create 2 clones at the same time and cultivate with his true body. It was equivalent to 3 of him cultivating at the same time. His strength had increased by leaps and bounds. Not many people of the same generation could compare to him. Without the immortal elixir, Yangba and Su Chu would not be able to catch up to his strength in a short time. Ever since the immortal elixir had increased their cultivation, their physiques had become especially different. Their cultivation speed was also faster than before, and their battle strength was also stronger. There were no side effects at all. The three of them had gotten to know each other through fighting. They had even joined forces to destroy the Xing, Lu, and Li families' plans to take the Heavenly Dragon Palace for themselves. Jiang Ping had long known that the Heavenly Dragon Palace existed in the Dragon Gate Grotto. However, without the Heavenly Dragon token, he could not enter the Heavenly Dragon Palace. He could not even find its location. However, the Xing family had accidentally discovered the existence of the Heavenly Dragon Palace. However, they did not have the Heavenly Dragon token either. Therefore, they gathered the strength of the three families to forcefully break through the restrictions of the Heavenly Dragon Palace and obtain its inheritance. Who would have expected that Jiang Ping, Yang Ba, and Su Chu would spread the news of the Heavenly Dragon Palace? This caused the entire transcendent world to know about it before they could break through the Heavenly Dragon Palace. Now they wished they could cut Jiang Ping, Yang Ba, and Su Chu into pieces. At this moment, the three families' top-notch sages had already surrounded the three of them in Dragon Fiend Valley. They would not be able to escape even if they had wings. The three families had a total of 18 top-notch sages. There were also 2 peak sages and 18 beast sages as mounts. If they could not take down Jiang Ping, Yang Ba, and Su Chu with such battle strength, they would not be worthy of the name of the battle race. The battle race was a powerful race that possessed the ability to increase their battle strength. They had once represented the hope of the human race. The Xing family had the Xing Ho Qi, the Lu family had the Golden Bell Shackle, and the Li family had the heaven-suppressing Divine Pagoda. Each bloodline contained different innate abilities, but they could all unleash extraordinary power. The leader of the Xing family was an old sage called Xing Xianzi. The leader of the Lu family was Lu Yuanjing, a cold middle-aged man. The leader of the Li family was Li Jinjun, a female sage who had been famous for many years. They had really spent a lot of effort to trap Jiang Ping, Yang Ba, and Su Chu in Dragon Fiend Valley. "You little bastards, hurry up and kill yourselves to avoid pain," Xing Xianzi shouted loudly. "Isn't that letting them off too easily? I want to capture them and extract their souls so that they can neither live nor die," Lu Yuanjing said viciously. Li Jinjun nodded and said, "They're too arrogant. They spoiled our plans and even dared to kill our people. I don't know who gave them such guts." "Are you done with your nonsense?" Jiang Ping asked with a cold smile. Yang Ba and Su Chu were also incomparably calm. They did not feel the slightest bit of fear from being surrounded. "Looks like you're done. Then be on your way. Darling Lu, what are you waiting for?" Jiang Ping shouted. Whoosh whoosh. Chapter 1423. The power of the array suddenly floated in the Dragon Fiend Valley. The murderous aura in this area was extremely shocking. Under the activation of the array, the murderous aura turned into dragon shapes and surrounded the people from the Xing, Lu, and Li clans. The saints from the 3 clans were shocked. They thought that they had forced Jiang Ping, Yang Ba, and Su Chu into a desperate situation, but they did not know that this was a trap prepared for them. "Oh no, it's a sacred array. Let's break out quickly." "What are you afraid of? Can this bit of power stop us? Let's break the array together." "That's right. Let's break the array together. So what if it's a top-grade sacred array?" "Oh no, the murderous aura is getting stronger. This is not an ordinary sacred array. Let's break the array and kill our way out. I have the array-breaking flag here. Let me break the array." The people from the 3 clans were indeed very confident. They did not panic because they had fallen into a trap. They all wielded their weapons and attacked the array's power. Boom, boom, boom. Powerful sacred power rushed out in all directions. The power was extremely shocking. Even a half-step to heaven ascension would not be able to withstand it. Hee, how can my 10,000 murderous dragon array be broken so easily? Enjoy the power of the array. A voice faintly rang out from within the formation, and a slender figure appeared. It was none other than the beautiful military advisor, Lu Ji. In the underworld, Lu Ji was not very famous. He had been cultivating wholeheartedly in Wudong and also studied arrays. He already had very high attainments in the art of arrays. Moreover, he did not fall behind in his martial arts cultivation. He had achieved the strength of a level 3 celestial rune realm. This was the result of his master continuously suppressing his speed of improvement. Otherwise, he would have reached level 4 or even level 5 celestial rune realm. His foundation was practical, and he did not use the immortal liquid that Yang Wu had left for him. Otherwise, he would not be much weaker than Yang Ba and Su Chu. The Xing, Lu, and Li clans did not know that Lu Ji was the one who had set this trap for them. In fact, he was the one who had planned the entire plan for the Heavenly Dragon Palace, not Jiang Ping, Yang Ba, or Su Chu. After Yang Wu disappeared and Jiang Ping saw Lu Ji again, he was mesmerized by Lu Ji's beauty. He praised, "My dear Lu is comparable to 3,000 beauties." Because of this, he had pestered Lu Ji for a period of time, and almost disgusted Lu. Only until Yang Lu Yang appeared and dominated by Yang. Only then did he give up. But this did not stop him from admiring Lu Ji. Back then, in order to get close to Lu Ji, Jiang Ping had told Lu Ji about the Heavenly Dragon Palace. He did not want Lu Ji to obtain the Heavenly Dragon Palace's divine treasury. Instead, he wanted to tell Lu Ji that the Xing clan had discovered the Heavenly Dragon Palace's location and would definitely have designs on the Heavenly Dragon Palace. Lu Ji would definitely avenge the Yang clan, no Yang Wu. He used this as an excuse to get close to Lu Ji. Lu Ji used this opportunity to start planning for the Heavenly Dragon Palace's divine treasury. Not only did he want to destroy the Xing clan's plan, but he also wanted to weaken their strength and get back some interest for Yang Wu. Yang Ba and Su Chu did not hesitate to cooperate with his plan. That was why today's scene happened. Lu Ji's talent in formations was not inferior to Yang Wu's talent in alchemy. He could already set up an incomplete divine formation. An incomplete divine formation had the destructive power of a half-step, heaven-piercing realm cultivator. The 10,000 Fiend Dragon formation was an incomplete divine formation. It could extract the Fiend Dragon energy here and condense it into a dragon-shaped energy to kill the 3 great battle clans. Jiang Ping, Yang Ba, and Su Chu retreated to Lu Ji's side. Lu Ji held a feather fan in his hand and gently waved it. He looked very carefree and relaxed. There was no trace of panic on his face at all. Lu Ji is really handsome. Jiang Ping looked at Lu Ji with admiration in his eyes. Lu Ji was already used to Jiang Ping's tone. He said disapprovingly, "I know I'm handsome, but don't treat me like a woman. I'm a man with a handle." "That's right. If you weren't a man with a handle, I would have taken you captive long ago." Jiang Ping sighed. "After this matter is over, you can leave with the military advisor. We will pretend we didn't see anything." Yang Ba teased. "Poor military advisor, it's a sin to be too beautiful." Su Chu added. The people from the Xing, Lu, and Li clans were so angry that they started shouting. They surrounded each other and resisted the Fiend Dragon energy together. They were also trying their best to break the formation. Xing Xianzi roared, "If you know what's good for you, quickly retract the formation and we will let you live. Otherwise, you will regret being born into this world. Why waste time talking to them? Activate the sacred weapon and kill them." Lu Yuanjing shouted. His body was covered in a golden bell defense. His battle chi rose steadily. He forcefully broke through the Fiend Dragon energy and charged towards Lu Ji's group. "You want to kill us in my formation?" You're dreaming, Lu Ji shouted. He waved his feather fan and the fiend dragon energy quickly gathered. A dragon-shaped energy rose and charged towards Lu Yuanjing. Get out of my way, LV Yuanjing shouted. He gathered his fist and punched the dragon, killing aura fiercely. Bang! LV Yuanjing's strength was astonishing. He originally thought that the strength of his fist could explode the dragon-shaped baleful aura and even kill Lu Ji. Who would have thought that the power of the baleful aura would be so shocking that it forced him to retreat by 30 meters. The baleful aura was still corroding his golden bell, which made him extremely shocked. This kid's formation is shocking. Kill him quickly, Lu Yuanjing shouted. Xing Xianzi and Li Jinjun charged over. The others were also trying their best to deal with the increasingly ferocious fiend dragon energy. I don't want to play with you anymore. Activate the formation and execute you, Lu Ji shouted. The fiend dragon energy from all directions gathered crazily. Streaks of terrifying fiend dragon energy blasted towards the people from the three clans. A saint from the Xing clan wielded a fire hammer and hit a streak of fiend dragon energy. Just as the streak of fiend dragon energy exploded, two streaks of even more ferocious fiend dragon energy came from the left and right. He was unable to block them and exploded on the spot. Heaven-suppressing divine pagoda, suppress. A saint from the Li clan shouted and activated his bloodline power. A pagoda appeared on his body and enveloped him firmly, blocking the dragon-killing aura. Then, he rushed out. Before he could rush out, his mount was already killed by the dragon-killing aura. He was also sent flying by the continuous impact of the dragon-killing aura and vomited blood. He couldn't hold on for long and also died. The other saints were fighting with their lives on the line. They put on their strongest defensive armor and wanted to draw on the power of the star patterns to unleash their strongest combat strength. Unfortunately, there was a chain formation in the formation that isolated them from the world. They could not draw on the power of the stars. Rumble! Rumble! Explosions rang out incessantly, and miserable shrieks rang out one after another as the saints and their mounts were mercilessly crushed. Xing Xianzi went completely berserk. He held a half-step Heaven Ascension flaming sword in his hand and slashed at Lu Ji with majestic sword qi. He raised his fire and burned the sky. The sword aura shot up into the sky and black flames lingered around it. The dense sword intent broke through the layers of fiend dragon energy and slashed at Lu Ji. Be careful, darling. I'll block it, Jiang Ping shouted. He wanted to take the initiative to block the attack for Lu Ji. Unexpectedly, Lu Ji waved his feather fan and combined the fiend dragon energy to block Xing Xianzi's attack. In another direction, Li Jinjun also activated a pagoda. The pagoda kept spinning and broke through the formation, crashing toward Lu Ji. They all knew that as long as they killed Lu Ji, the formation's power would drop. This time, Jiang Ping moved to block Li Jinjuan's attack. Jiang Ping was powerful and did not fear a top-tier saint, even if the other party was from the battle tribe. Yang Ba, Su Chu, you guys go too. I'll control the fiend dragon energy and cooperate with you to kill them, Lu Ji said to the two beside him. All right. The two of them responded and rushed into the array formation. With Lu Ji controlling the situation, the two of them were not harmed by the fiend dragon energy. Instead, the fiend dragon energy cooperated with them to deal with Xing Xianzi. Lu Ji's palms were innately inscribed with formation patterns. It was his talent that allowed him to easily control the formation he set up. In the formation, he was the ruler and could control the life and death of others. Xing Xianzi, LV Yuanjing, and Li Jinjun were the strongest. The fiend dragon energy could not kill them. It only trapped them in the formation, hindering them from breaking the formation and exhausting their combat power. Jiang Ping, Yang Ba, and Su Chu attacked them. With the help of the fiend dragon energy, they were heavily injured. More than half of the others and their mounts were dead or injured. If this continued, they would definitely be wiped out. You brats really piss me off. I won't let you go. Xing Xianzi was certain that he could not break the formation with his strength. He roared and took out a divine decree and tore it apart. Suddenly, a terrifying willpower descended, causing the power of the formation to stagnate significantly. A divine decree? Kill it all. Lu Ji did not panic. He muttered and waved his palms. The overwhelming fiend dragon energy formed a huge dragon-shaped battle aura and charged at the divine decree's intent. Bang! The divine decree's intent had just formed, but it was shattered by the dragon-shaped battle aura. What? Xing Xuanzi was shocked. Then he shouted, "Those who have divine decrees and divine swords, stop hiding them." Swoosh swoosh. As expected, LV Yuanzheng and Li Jinjun both tore open their divine decrees. Someone else activated a half-step ascension warrior. They had to break the formation. Lu Ji's expression was solemn. He constantly mobilized his power to suppress all of this. Jiang Ping, Yang Ba, and Su Chu all looked nervous. The success or failure of this operation depended on this moment. However, before Lu Ji's formation could shatter the divine decree's power, a terrifying force suddenly interfered with the formation. A shocking fiery black palm slammed toward the Thousand Fiend Dragon formation. Bang! The Thousand Fiend Dragon formation disintegrated instantly. Lu Ji, Jiang Ping, Yang Ba, and Su Chu were all affected by this force. They all spat out blood and retreated. How dare a few brats kill the saints of our three clans? You deserve to be dismembered. A divine voice descended. 4 black flaming swords formed by power slashed at the 4 of them. The divine decree made them despair. We're doomed! The 4 of them exclaimed in their hearts. At this moment, a bunch of living beings suddenly fell from the sky. Croak. Chapter 1424. A bunch of crows falling from the sky was enough to scare someone to death. There were not just a few or a few dozen of them, but tens of thousands of them. There were so many of them that it was frightening. Crows were unlucky spirit demons in the eyes of humans. Wherever they appeared, someone would definitely be unlucky. As expected, after the crows fell, the Divine Realm expert who was about to kill Lu Ji, Jiang Ping, Yang Ba, and Su Chu was crushed by a huge crow. The attack he was about to unleash was completely crushed. That was the power of a Divine Realm expert, but it was actually crushed by a huge crow. Just how powerful was that crow? Those who were still alive stared at this scene with their eyes wide open. Their mouths were so wide open that a fist could fit inside. They really couldn't figure out where these crows came from. Moreover, they even crushed a Tong Tian expert. It was too inconceivable. They wondered if what they had seen was an illusion. Am I hallucinating? I just returned from the Divine Firmament battlefield, and I see my brothers. Am I dreaming? On top of the giant crow, a young man stretched his body, rubbed his eyes, and muttered to Lu Ji, Jiang Ping, Yang Ba, and Su Chu. Master? Are my eyes playing tricks on me? Lu Ji was stunned for a moment. It's Master. It can't be wrong, Yang Ba said confidently. Could it be the enemy's illusion array? Su Chu asked suspiciously. Jiang Ping cried out, Junior brother. No, senior brother has returned from outer space. But he really didn't come to the right place. The 3 battle tribes will tear him to pieces. Xing Xuanzi, LV Yuanjing, and Li Jinjun also stared blankly at Yang Wu and the crows, full of wariness. They had never seen Yang Wu before and could not immediately recognize who Yang Wu was. Get out of my way! The Divine Realm expert who had been crushed by the huge crow roared, bursting forth with a powerful force to send the huge crow flying. Make him behave, the youth on the back said calmly as the huge crow was sent flying. No matter whether what they saw was real or not, they had to suppress it first. Behave! The huge crow roared, and an even more powerful force pressed down, firmly suppressing the Divine Realm expert on its back. I'm so angry! Get out of my way! The Divine Realm expert roared, and a powerful black flame burst forth from his body, burning fiercely, wanting to burn the crow to a crisp. The huge crow was also burned to the point of flying to escape. "Hit him with the pot," the youth on his back said. Next, the black pot flew out, allowing the huge crow to control it. After taking the pot, of course, bang. The big crow didn't know how to control its strength, and when the pot shield smashed down, the black flames were scattered. Even the godly expert's head was smashed, and his godly body was destroyed. Even his godly soul was destroyed. Smashed Tong Tian to death with a black wok. This scene scared everyone silly. "You smash someone to death? How can you be so ignorant?" the youth said with some dissatisfaction. Master, I definitely didn't do it on purpose. I didn't know he was so weak," the huge crow replied nervously. It felt very wrong. It just wanted to teach the other party a lesson, but it didn't expect him to be so weak. The youth had smashed the Dark Moon Clan's patriarch several times, but the Dark Moon Clan's patriarch didn't die. It just wanted to have a taste of being smashed. The result was too disappointing. "This old fellow is too weak. I was scolded by Master. Hurry up and come back to life," the huge crow thought. If the dead Divine Realm expert could hear the crow's words, he would probably be angered to death again. "He's already dead. Do you think I don't want to come back to life?" The youth didn't pursue the huge crow's mistake. He jumped down from the huge crow's back and came in front of Lu Ji, Jiang Ping, Yang Ba, and Su Chu. "Beautiful military advisor, Yang Ba, Su Chu, why are you here? Is this the Transcendent Realm?" Jiang Ping, who was ignored, said first, You're really my senior? Why are you hanging out with them?" The young man rolled his eyes and asked. "Impossible. My senior apprentice brother is already dead. No, he disappeared for several years. How could he have returned with a bunch of crows? What kind of demon are you? How dare you impersonate my senior apprentice brother?" Jiang Ping said as he scrutinized Yang Wu. As he spoke, he reached out to grab the youth. Before he could grab the youth raised his leg and sent him flying. "Junior, your strength still hasn't improved," the youth said disdainfully. Jiang Ping now believed that the youth was his senior without a doubt. Other than his senior, who else in the Transcendent Realm would dare to look down on him like this? He was the famous playboy Jiang Ping. Even the older generation didn't dare to provoke him. As long as Tong Tian Old Monster didn't come out, no one could do anything to him. Only his senior brother could suppress him. "Master, it's really you. You're finally back," Yang Ba said excitedly. "Greetings, Master." Su Chu knelt down on one knee in front of Yang Wu. "I knew that my lord was blessed by the heavens and would be fine. Congratulations on your return, my lord." Lu Ji laughed heartily. Who else could the youth be but Yang Wu? He had really returned from the Divine Firmament battlefield. However, even he didn't know that he had been teleported back to Dragon Gate Grotto. He also didn't expect to meet his brother. His mood instantly improved. "Oh no, they're escaping!" Jiang Ping exclaimed. The sages of the three races had already taken the opportunity to escape. The sages were very fast. In the blink of an eye, they were already far away. Someone shouted, "Help! Those little bastards are over here. Elder Chong has been killed." This voice spread out loudly. People in the distance could hear it clearly. "Take them down," Yang Wu ordered Wuguna and the others. "Ka!" The crows cried out and quickly rushed toward Xing Xuanzi, LV Yuanjing, and the others. There was no suspense at all. They were easily taken down by the crows. Apart from Wuguna, there were many sage-level crows. After they came to this place, they felt that their strength was rapidly increasing. The restraints that had been suppressing them were gone, and their strength was rising steadily. These crows didn't kill them. They captured them and threw them in front of Yang Wu and the others. Jiang Ping was shocked. "Senior brother, you're too powerful. When did you become the leader of the crows?" Yang Wu couldn't be bothered to answer Jiang Ping. Instead, he asked, "What's going on?" Did something happen to my Yang family? These are the people from the Xing, Lu, and Li clans. They want to snatch the Heavenly Dragon Palace's inheritance. We planned to play with them. Who knew that we would end up playing with them? We had better leave quickly. The Heavenly Grandmaster old monsters from those 3 clans will definitely come again, Lu Ji quickly replied. Yes, let's leave this place first. Milord is back. Let's let them off for now. In their opinion, Yang Wu's return was a big deal. As long as he was safe, it was more important than anything else. As for the Heavenly Dragon Palace's inheritance, let it be. In any case, the entire world knew about it. It was impossible for the 3 races to take it for themselves. Yang Wu waved his hand and said, "There's no rush. Since we ran into this matter, let's deal with it together. The Heavenly Dragon Palace is our Heavenly Palace's inheritance. Who can snatch it?" In the next moment, a startled roar came from afar. "Brat of the Yang clan! How dare you kill my clansman? Destroy him!" A palm that blotted out the sky came down from the sky. The terrifying palm energy covered an area of dozens of miles. This palm strike could flatten the entire place. Without waiting for Yang Wu's instructions, Wu Guna cried out and flapped his wings, piercing through this palm. "Caw, caw. This strength is really weak," Wu Guna said in disdain. "How dare you!" The person who attacked just now shouted, and a figure quickly charged over. It was a mighty middle-aged man wearing divine armor. His entire body was wrapped in raging black flames, giving off a suffocating feeling. This was a mid-tier Jade Moon Realm expert. Xing Chuyu was also a long reclusive old monster of the Xing clan. Several years ago, the Xing clan wanted to wipe out the Yang clan and Yang Wu. They paid a heavy price, and some of the old monsters in seclusion had to come out one after another. Otherwise, others would really think that there was no one left in the Xing clan. Xing Chuyu flew over. When he saw Xing Xuanzi and the others being captured, he shouted furiously, "Brats, let them go, and I can leave your corpses intact. Who do you think you are? How can you speak so rudely? Did your parents not teach you to respect the old and love the young?" Jiang Ping said confidently. After seeing how powerful the big crow was, Jiang Ping was no longer afraid of divine-level experts. "You have a death wish," Xing Chuyu shouted. He flicked a finger light toward Jiang Ping. The power of this finger beam was incomparably fast. In the blink of an eye, it had arrived at Jiang Ping's side. He didn't even have the chance to react. Seeing that he was about to be hit, Yang Wu pulled him to the side. The finger beam fell on the mountain behind him and instantly pierced through it. Large chunks of mountain rocks fell down, forcing Yang Wu and the others to use their powers to disperse the rocks. Xing Chiyu's body flew toward Xing Xuanzi and the others. He wanted to save them. At the same time, he attacked Yang Wu and the others. He did not hold back at all. In his eyes, Yang Wu and the others were like ants. They were nothing. Wu Guna quickly flew over. His wings slashed toward Xing Chuyu, forcing him to retreat. "Crow, how dare you meddle in our business?" Xing Chuyu looked at Wu Guna and shouted. Now, he understood why Xing Xuanzi and the others had been captured. This was a god-ranked crow, and there were tens of thousands of crows here. Which faction would be able to easily go against them? "Master, can we smash this person?" Wu Guna asked Yang Wu. "Do you still need to ask? If anyone dares to attack me, I'll smash them all. Smash them until their parents can't recognize them." Yang Wu's face was cold as he shouted. The Xing clan deserved to be blamed.